Well, yeah, mic check, testing 1 2 1 2. This your friendly neighborhood partner, Mr. TREE, coming at you live and direct, like I know how to do best. Yes, happy Wednesday. It's Wild Wednesday over in this motherfucker. Yeah. We got a hot topic for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm seeing this PPP loan topic is like real heavy, and I'm pretty sure you know, or you've come to know what the PPP loan is, because you see so many people out there high signing and benefiting from it. But there's probably some things people should really know, because just from the people that I've known that personally dealt with it, they didn't have a third party do it for them, so it wasn't like they were filing it on their behalf. And let's take an example. Say the person got $20,000 and they was dependent on this third party to file the paperwork for them. You know, that third party wanted like $5,000. So in actuality, they only got 15 G's. And I guess that's when the faultiness comes in. You know, that's part of the fraud of it. But there's so many angles and twists to this shit. That's why we're going to jump into it, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the topic of the shizo. PPP loan could possibly end up putting you in jail. So let's get into it. You know, because we know a whole bunch of people out there down with PPP. Yeah, you know me. Yeah. Give me my motherfucking money, man. Yeah, PPP. Yeah. 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 You down with PPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with PPP? Yeah, you know Tree. You down with PPP? Yeah, you know me. Who's down with PPP? All the homies. You down with PPP? Yeah, you know me. I'm down with PPP. Yeah, you know me. Who's down with PPP? Yeah, you know Tree. Who's down with PPP? All the homies. Yeah, man, everybody down with that PPP, man. Them PPP loans is popping. Everybody out there got new everything. Yeah. Who's down with PPP? Yeah, you know me. I'm down with PPP. Yeah, you know Tree. Who's down with PPP? All the homies. Yeah. We about to get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. We about to get into these PPP loans. And this may be some helpful information. You know, for folks out there, maybe you learn how to safeguard yourself so you don't be falling victim. Yeah. Who's down with PPP? I'm down with PPP. Yeah. Who's down with PPP? You down with PPP? I'm down with PPP. Who's down with PPP? Yeah. PPP loans. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me stop this music. So yeah, I found this sister on here who was giving up some game about these PPP loans. So let's get into it and see what she has to say, and then we can dissect it along the way. I'm gonna play a couple of videos.
On it down up there, I'm telling you, these people, I can't stand them. I can't stand them.
She's having a bout with the neighbors, and I know how it is, man. You got like disrespectful neighbors just making all types of noises at 10, 12 in the motherfucking nighttime, in the morning.
I love my loft, can't stand my neighbors. That's above me because they're ghetto. Anywho, my brother in Christ sent me something, and I have to share this with you all ASAP. I usually don't get on this late, but this is gonna really help some of you all, at least to hopefully counteract some of the things that you all have bought into with these PPP loans, okay?
You hear that? The sister say counteract. Because it's a lot of y'all out there who done bit the bait. You know, then bit the bait with some shit that do not make logical sense. The math don't motherfucking add up. You know, since when the federal government start getting out giving out free money. Like, they tax motherfuckers. They get money from us. We the slaves. So you should already knew something was tricky. You know, when your slave master just want to give you free land and you know, you ain't got to work on the plantation no more. You know, it's just all good. I'm finna just give you this. Come on now, man. You know that don't make sense, but let's get it.
Y'all, this is, for you all, and all I'm asking for you all that's rode with me, and I can literally go and get the clips. For last year around this time when the PPP loans was coming out, I told everything this woman is about to tell you, I told you in detail. I told you, number one, if you got my gig, make your gig credit come alive. I show you the systems. I wrote that book and I told you all these systems are talking to each other. You all had no idea. They needed to find a way to funnel everyone in because they wanted to see what monies were really coming in.
Yeah, we got the show up in the hizzle for shizzle. What's popping with you, Playboy?
Who's lying, who's got what. And this is the major part of the prophecy that I gave you all. I told you, and this is not excluding everyone, but I'm going to tell you this. I told you, blacks will be set back over 100 years, and not in a good way. Blacks will be set back over 100 years because, again, remember I was telling you all, everyone getting these PPP loans, I just did a video talking about you're getting these PPP loans and y'all jumped off the platform. Let me tell you something. You're not only going to have a black tar, you are going to be blacklisted. If you committed fraud doing these PPP loans, I prophesied this a year ago. You can go to the videos. You can go to I did live videos, I did teachings, and I told you, even the other day, I told you all, I said, look, if you're doing Uber and you want to get a new car or whatever, and you're going to do the PPP, fine. But you better do it legitimately. You better do it the legal way. You better make sure your ducats are in a row.
In a row.
They're watching you all make this mistake. They're watching you do this. People are getting ridiculous amounts of money and it's not legitimate. And they know it and they give it to you because this was a setup. I'm sitting here like, these loans, you know, I can understand a little 5,000 here or something like that, and they're telling you it's forgivable. People found out the formula, and so now they're making these fraudulent claims, and y'all, it is bad. It is really, really bad. So what you're gonna have to do is really, really legitimize yourself, legitimize your business if you have one. From the start, from when COVID started, one of the things, and I'm gonna get a little preachy on here, so you just gonna have to deal with it. The Lord told me distinctly, he said, don't you stop working and build your businesses. For you all that's been riding with me, what have I been preaching for the whole year? I told you all, get your business, because after this season, you won't be able to get one. I got 5 companies. I got 5 LLCs. 2 or 3 of them, I haven't even been working. But I have them in place. I pay for the license. I build constructurally, you know, I write my stuff down, my business plans down. I do all those different things, but I made sure to go ahead and get it. I told you what you was going to have to do.
Because this ain't even funny, man. Hold on. What's up? We got the Leonard up in the hizzle for shizzle. What's poppin', Playboy? Leonard says the setup is revealed. Yeah, man, pretty much.
What's going to come down. This should scare the living daylights out of you. When I'm about to play the video, it's a short video. But when my brother in Christ, when he sent this to me, we call him King, I said, did I not say this? I said, the Lord showed me this last year around this time, which it was. He showed me this, hold on, let me make sure my mouse. I said, the Lord showed me this around this time, and I specifically said what this woman is going to say. And I even told you all more in detail, because I talked for hours. My lives always go for hours. And he wrote, I remember. And this is why he sent me the video. Because I told you all, when I told you to get my, make your gig credit come alive, one of the things I was trying to, and this is the thing that...
All right, we're going to get to the nitty gritty.
Oh, we're going to talk about that 20K.
With a girl giving up the game.
I'm going to talk about that.
She run her mouth too much. She's trying to pump herself up. I get it.
Okay, so I'll go over the comments later, okay? Let me flip this around and we're going to get started, okay?
Yeah, give us that game.
The sister's on point. She confirmed everything I said last year this time. Let me make sure it's big. Is it big? There we go. There we go.
Because she's telling the truth.
Right? What you all don't understand is
I knew that 20G shit, that shit ain't what's up.
okay, let's do it. And then
And she worked at a bank.
away scot-free. And you will be the one held liable for that $20,000. Alright? This is the other thing I want to say. It is real out here when I'm trying to tell y'all that they are not playing games with you and they are really cracking down on people, right? So I'm in this group and this young lady shared this, and that's the other reason why I'm on here saying this to y'all, because a lot of you all are getting government assistance. If you are on disability, if you are on Section 8, if you are on low income, if you are on link assistance, and you put in a PPP application, you are going to mess yourself up. Because let me tell you.
Did you hear the sister? If you're on one of them 4 things right there, link, government assistance, SSI, Section 8, you about to mess yourself up.
You this. The governments have started talking to each other. Over 2 years ago, they started working on connecting their systems, right? So, prime example, some of y'all make 50 grand, but you still getting child care checks. You still getting link, because at one point in time, the governments weren't talking to each other. Well, now they are. So Link can see that you make 50 grand from your job off your W-2. Section 8 can see that you have a real job making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, okay? If you didn't know that, let me tell you right now, they can see that, all right? So now that you all have these applications in these different government systems, right? Now, this is the thing. If you are a mother of 2 kids, you're a young mother, you work at Walmart making $15,000 for the whole year, and you're on Section 8, okay? And you're getting link. But now, you let your cousin Pookie put in a PPP loan application for you. Now, what you
Don't let your cousin Pookie put that motherfucker in for you.
don't understand is you just told the government that you own a business.
Exactly.
And then you made $100,000.
Exactly.
Business. So, how are you getting Section 8 and you're getting your rent paid for $1,000, $2,000, however much your Section 8 is? Because you're telling them you don't have a business or you don't have a job and you're not making enough. Then you're saying,
Everybody
I need
must
Link
be
to
at
take care of
work.
my kids because I
Dang,
don't
ain't
have a
nobody
job.
on there
I'm not
watching.
making enough. But
One
now,
person
all of a
will.
sudden, you got a PPP loan application and you just got $20,000.
Come on,
And
tell
you
them.
know how you got that $20,000.
Tell
I'm
them.
explaining to you what Pookie won't explain to you, because the difference from me is he wants that $5,000 from you because he doesn't care about you and your livelihood and that you're going to end up in jail.
Type shit.
But because I am a tax professional, a business professional, okay, a business consultant, I am the people's champ for the hood, okay? I am your financial advisor.
Look at her name.
Alright?
She really a business owner.
What's
She
that?
work at a bank.
You're going to be in trouble. I just had a young lady post in another group. This young lady allowed somebody to do her PPP loan. She got $267,000 from the PPP loan. This was last year, okay? Last month, the federal government contacted her. The federal government, she is under federal investigation right now with the federal government, okay? Why? Because the person put that she made $2 million in her business.
Wow.
Also, okay, the other issue that I had with her is you can't play the victim when you know damn well you didn't have no business.
Exactly.
And you knew damn well when you got that $267,000 deposited into your account that you did not have no freaking business.
Right.
Now that the feds are on your behind, now you want to start telling on here and telling everybody what they shouldn't be doing. But
Exactly.
and many of y'all know this, which is why I'm on here talking once again. I have been talking to y'all for the last 3 or 4 months telling y'all, quit playing games with these people. This is not free money. Quit letting these kids gas y'all head up. Quit letting the cousins put in bogus applications for you, and you have no idea what they are putting in under your name, under your social security number.
That part.
Because at the end of the day, you are the one that is liable, not them. Okay? No one goes to jail for putting in an application.
Man, you don't know how many people I had hit me up talking about they got this person that hook up applications. That's that third party entity she talking about. Like you just finna let a stranger mess your whole life up because they didn't got some money from you, you know, for putting it through for you. They name ain't no shit. They gonna get away scot clean, scot free, clean as a whistle. But you know who them folks gonna come after? You. But let's get back into it, man, so she can give you some game and, you know, maybe this you know, teach some countermeasures as well too. Some stuff you can do to protect yourself if you you know, took the bait. Or if you didn't file a proper loan, because there's a way to do it properly, but it's a lot of people out there who done it illegally. Yeah, what's up with it, Shannon? We got Shannon up in the hizzle for shizzle.
Who goes to jail is you, because that loan is in her name. So now that the federal government has reached out to her and she is under federal investigation, the only way that she will not go to jail is if she tells who did her application.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so yeah. You got a tattletale, you got a 6'9" up. You know, so how many of y'all willing to snitch? Or do you even know the people? You know, you just, you know, got one of Pookie's friends who knew Bebe's cousins, who knew Shanique Wool, and, you know, should go all the way down the line. You don't even know the person who done had your sensitive information, who done filed this application under your name and your identity. You know, and I get it. People's out there starving for money, man. You get desperate and stuff, but you about to see how this about to come back and bite you.
She had to tell, right? But at the same time, now her Section 8 is gone. Now her link got cut off. And what I was sitting here saying, how are you mad that your Section 8 and your link got cut off and you just got $267,000? What did you do with that money? What did you do with that money?
Exactly.
So the post that I made to y'all.
Hold on, I gotta stop that right there because so many of you all know I do business coaching, I do consulting, and y'all have, I tell you, my whole thing is we drive the fund out. Having worked only 3 days, over $1,500.
Okay.
Even at least starting the business. If you gonna get this money, you need to be buying property. You need to be buying mobile homes. I did a whole
Hear what she said? Property, mobile homes, not motherfucking Jordans, not no Gucci, not no Louis Vuitton, not no jewelry, not no purses, not no new $700, $800 weaves. Motherfuckers out there just spending frivolously, man. You got some people who ain't never had that amount of money before in their lives. They ain't never had 20,000 at one time. 30,000, 40,000, however much, you know, they apply for. Not they apply for, however much they let the person that they don't really know, that they trusted with sensitive information, apply for under their goddamn name. Shit just don't make no sense, man. This shit was logic, man. You know.
interview on mobile homes for y'all, okay? I've been giving y'all ideas and tips for the 3 months on here about what you need to do with your stimulus money and your tax money. But some of y'all on here who I know for a fact you doing this PPP stuff, y'all don't understand what y'all are doing and how y'all playing y'allself and how y'all messing y'allself up, because y'all don't get. They know what y'all doing. They are giving you the money because they you up. This is what y'all don't get.
Did y'all hear that? I told you all that. This was a setup. They don't just give out money like this just willy-nilly. It was a setup to draw people in. You get this one-time payment, and now they're gonna have you cut off for the rest of
And black people should really know better. And I ain't trying to make this all race thing or whatever, but black folks, you should have knew something was up, man. This is the government. These are the same motherfuckers who injected syphilis and shit into our population. Who distributed cocaine. They brought cocaine, to the ghetto. Drugs. They admitted that. These are the same people you trusting? Are you putting your trust in? Like I say, man, it's just simple logic you can do, man. Simple mathematics to tell you, man, hold up, man, this shit ain't adding up.
to your life.
Y'all getting this money and then y'all not doing nothing with it. Y'all not even at least starting the business that you lied and
Exactly. Exactly.
And they know this. They know this. That's why they are giving.
And with all this game, the game I done gave you on this live, and what she's giving you, can y'all please hit the like button? I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. There's like 50 of you all on here. You can at least like it. I don't ask for much.
Oh Lord, somebody hit that girl like button.
They are okay with giving you the money. They okay with letting you do all these bogus documents because baby boy and baby girl, you gotta explain this. And most of y'all not gonna have no way to explain it because you don't know what the people did. You literally are coming to my office and sit down with me to do your taxes, and I have to ask you, did you do that bogus PPP? And many of you don't want to tell me. It's okay. But I ask you, and I explain to you, let me tell you this. If you did this PPP, you need to show this business. So at least you need to put the money up. You need to pay me to do your LLC, to file your EIN, to get you a real legitimate business going, or you're going to be messed up. Now, this is the other thing that's happening. Because I've been talking and I ain't seen nothing. I think y'all just listening. All right, yep, Goofy's 100. So I'm going to try to do it. I said hell to the no. Thank you, Brandon. You're smart. Yes, $267,000. All right, it's set up. Everybody agreeing. Okay, cool. No questions. So, this is the thing, y'all. I have never knocked nobody hustle, okay? But I get on here and I tell y'all all the time, your cousins that are out here used to being a car cracker, he is not understanding what he is doing to your mama, your auntie, your cousins. They don't understand because their mentality, they don't care, okay? When you a car cracker, you stealing from somebody else. You stealing somebody else's grandma money. You stealing somebody auntie money. You're doing that. So you have no ethical background anyway. You get what I'm saying?
Come on.
The fact that they coming to y'all and tell
A car cracker is basically a credit card scammer for the people who was trying to figure out what she meant talking about a car cracker. She not talking about no white person with a card. She talking about a person who does credit card fraud and be scamming in that sense.
telling y'all grandmama. It's people that put PPP under their grandmama name, their daddy name, their auntie name. It's ridiculous out here what they are out here doing, okay? But this is what I'm trying to tell y'all.
And y'all wonder why there's no Uber drivers and no delivery people. Because I'm telling you, a lot of people that was on the platform jumped on these opportunities, and it's going to backfire. And not only that, they're going to be blacklisted. A lot of these companies, you have to understand, you having a federal charge like this, or if you get caught up, this can very well be a judgment on that goes on your credit report. And now the systems are talking to each other. So now you may disqualify. You don't know what kind of laws they're putting into.
That part right there. I tried to order an Uber the other day, and I guess since all these Uber and these gig workers, they qualify or they're getting these PPP loans illegally, it's barely any Uber Lyft drivers out there, right? So I tried to order Uber the other day, and that shit took like 30 minutes to come get me. Usually they be like 2 minutes away.
play to make sure that they watch you. Man, you know what? I ain't gonna keep saying I told you so, but I told you so.
When you deal with people like that, you're gonna mess yourself up. Because this is the other thing. Some of y'all are allowing people to put in applications for you, and you could be a legitimate business, right?
On the real.
But you're gonna get messed up just from who you're dealing with.
That part. Because that's what a lot of the people are doing. They dealing with a third-party entity. Because I guess they don't like to read. To go through that labor process of filling all the paperwork out. And they do that and they expect a cut from you. You know, once the money drop in your bank account, bam, you get them a cut or whatever.
Because one of the banks that we are dealing with.
What up, cuz?
I haven't even got my PPP money. Let me just
She
say,
keeping it real about that $20,000 loan shit, man.
Please excuse him talking. I mean, he's recording it from this, but this was the only one I could find.
I could have did it. I didn't. God work in mysterious ways, bro.
Now that's really true, because God would not allow me to do it. Even when I tried to do it, I canceled the loan. I still got the ticket number. I canceled it. It did not sit. It still didn't sit right with my spirit, even though I was doing it legitimately.
I kept saying they ain't gonna give you this money for nothing, bro.
We got shut down for 3 weeks. Excuse me.
What's up, Toy?
3 weeks. We got shut down for 3 weeks because a cousin came in and put 110 applications with the same freaking bank account.
Dummy.
Damn.
Then not only did he do the same application with the same bank account number, he used the same numbers on the Schedule C. This is why I be telling y'all to.
I know you didn't do that shit, cuz. Stop playing.
Dealing with, and in your business, and in your finances, and in your life, okay?
Because if you did, you just basically told on yourself, cuz. No bullshit.
Don't know what they doing. One, thank you. You gotta be slow as hell. Like, that's common freaking sense. Who would put the same bank account on 110 applications?
Cuz that's fucking with the feds, cuz they coming to get you for real.
Who have been with this bank, or who have been with this lender, right?
I was gonna say, I hope you is, Jack. Cause they coming, cuz, for real. Cause they gonna be looking for you to file that shit on your taxes next year. And you ain't doing it. Oh yeah, your ass going down.
110 applications.
That's federal, cuz.
And the same bank account. So, this is what I'm talking about. Out of those 110 people, what if half of those people really had legitimate businesses? What if half of those people were real legitimate business owners, but was silly enough to go to a hood person, okay? And did not work with a professional like myself. And now your application has gotten flagged. And now when you try to go to another bank, it's possible that you won't get funded. Because that type of fraudulent flag goes around. You all think that banks don't talk to each other. And let me tell you, from working in the banking industry for 8 years, banks talk to each other. All of this fraud that y'all doing, another thing, you can't apply for these PPP loans with Cash App and Chime no more. You put in a Chime account, your application is automatically being declined now. Because this is the other thing. Real legitimate business owners, we don't use Chime or Cash App.
Come on.
We have real bank accounts.
Business checking.
Real legitimate business owners have real bank accounts. We have real business bank accounts. I have Tax Credit Academy Incorporated. I have Duval Management Group, LLC, bank account. I have PLS Logistics, business bank account. I'm not taking no Cash App. I'm not on Chime. You get what I'm saying? People who make real money don't bank like that.
So let me stop her right there. Real quick, I'm just gonna interject. So in my Make Your Gig Credit Come Alive, I give you all the links, and I talk about this in depth. When I always taught, ever since I came on this channel, I said, run your gig business like a real business. Run it like a real business, meaning you have business checking, meaning you write yourself checks, paychecks, you're paying yourself out, you're not living paycheck to paycheck, you're getting things in legitimate business names, your vehicle, your phone lines, all those different things, so that when it comes to this, you are not red flagged.
It's the fraudulent people that do that. Like most of you who got a Nespian card, it's because y'all messed up your bank account. You have TCF because nobody else will open up a bank account with you because you're in check systems. You get what I'm saying? So I could talk about this type of stuff all day, but this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about, y'all. That this is why I am who I am, and why I get on here and try to empower you and educate you as being Tax Credit Academy, to teach you about money, finances, taxes, credit, because a lot of y'all are not living in the real world. A lot of y'all are living in the hood world, and the hood ain't rich, and the hood ain't gonna make you rich, and you will never be rich or wealthy or have nothing for your kids listening to the hood and the hood people, okay? That's what I'm saying. What y'all don't know is, in order for you to get that $20,000, they had to do a fraudulent Schedule C for you. And what you also don't know is, when you file $100,000 worth of net income on a Schedule C, your tax liability is about $36,000. It's about $36,000.
Tell them.
So you don't know.
Talk to them.
You didn't know that when they applied for that money last year, that they put a Schedule C return together that said your net, not gross, your net income was $100,000. So they're going to be looking for you to file taxes this year.
On the real, tell them.
When you got your taxes done and you didn't put on there that you had a business at all.
Tell them, talk to them.
So that's also going to be another red flag. You went and got $20,000, said you had a business. Now you filed your taxes this year and you don't even have a Schedule C on your taxes.
Talk to them.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, I do.
At least put the freaking Schedule C on your taxes. If you lied, you have to go through the lie altogether. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. When you lie and you do fraudulent paperwork like this, and you go do your regular taxes, and then when they audit you, they're gonna see you didn't have a Schedule C form on your taxes, but you said you had a business and you got $20,000. Some of y'all got $40,000. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. But everybody keep talking about this 20K. Most of y'all, if y'all doing these fraudulent loans, y'all not going for less than that. Y'all not getting 10 grand, 5 grand, because y'all listening to these people tell y'all, I can get you 20K. So that's what you're getting. You may clear 10 grand, but dude applied for 20 for you. I don't care. He gave you 10 grand out his pocket, or he gave you 10 grand, but on your application, boo, it say 20. Because you gave 10 to the person who did your application, or you did 5 to the person who did your application, and you walked away with 15,000.
On the real.
You walked away with 15,000. They got 5,000. They put 20,000 on your application to get you 20. But in order to get you 20,000, they had to say that you made $100,000. You get what I'm saying? So they're not gonna tell you that.
He outside.
No, some don't get it, and they're not gonna get it until the feds come knocking. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Even if you still on here, and I done explain this in layman terms, if you still don't get it at this point, I'm sorry, you a little slow. I'm just gonna say that. You a little slow, and it's okay. So slow money don't make no money, but slow money also go to jail. Alright? So I've been telling y'all for over 3 months. I've been telling y'all this since PPP came out last year.
I've been telling you all since last year. You can go back to the videos. I have hour-long videos specifically laying everything out, what the government was doing, what the bankings was, what they were doing, and how they was setting us up.
All right, but I've really been talking to y'all this year, 2021, because I knew more money was coming. Because
Yeah. Y'all motherfuckers better stop playing. That 20 G's, that shit ain't what's up. I ain't going. I mean, I could have did the shit and got the money. I'm talking about literally got the money. God working mysterious ways.
Come on.
I told you, it's consequences behind that shit, bro. It's consequences. And me, for one, I'm not going down just for no little punk ass 20 motherfucker.
Okay, he's doing too much cussing for me, but hold on. So excuse me if you heard me banging. My neck. If you hear them thumping, it's.
You down with PPP? Who's down with PPP up in this motherfucker, man? Yeah. Yeah, shout out to that sister for giving us that Super Bombay information, man. And for, for my fellow black people out there who don't like to listen to other black people, I'm gonna let the white boy tell you. And it's cold how he break it down. This little chuckle he do, in like the middle of it, laughing at motherfuckers. It was cold. Yeah. Who's down with PPP? You down with PPP? I'm down with PPP. Who's down with PPP? Yeah, all the ladies, they down with it, man. I see them going to get them clutch bags, all them purses and stuff. Yeah. You down with PPP? Yeah, tree. Hold on, let me find that video.
Steve.
You down with PPP? Yeah, tree. Who's down with PPP? Alright, I got him queued up. Yeah, so let the white boy tell you. For the niggas who don't believe fat meat is greasy. You down with PPP? Who down with PPP? I'm down with PPP. Who down with PPP? You down with PPP? I'm down with PPP. Who's down with PPP? Yeah, this for you niggas who don't believe fat meat's greasy. You understand me? Because that sister, she broke it down. She work up in the banking industry. She gave you the game. But I'm going to let the white boy tell you. Let's get into it.
PPP loan fraud is absolutely out of control.
Look at his face. Hold on. Oh man, he had me cracking up, man, because he's serious. He like, this shit is mind-boggling to him how so many people, man, have committed this fraud, man. It's about to be like enormous ramifications for this shit. How many people done dip their little hand up in this cookie jar right here?
PPP loan fraud is absolutely out of control.
Look at he put his hand inside his face. He said absolutely out of control.
Now, I knew that this was popular. I knew it was popular trying to get a few extra bucks from a loan that you shouldn't have received extra money on, or try and submit an application that you shouldn't have submitted. But this is rampant. It's literally become a meme to get a fake PPP. Like, it's not even the question anymore of, is it possible to get a fake PPP? It's now a question of, what are you going to spend your fake PPP money on? It's literally a joke. The more I look into this, the more I'm like, oh my gosh, this is rampant. This is stressing me out, to be honest, because I don't think people realize how serious this is. You're defrauding the Treasury and the federal government if you get a fake PPP loan. So let's talk about how this scam works. I'm going to show you some literal advertisements that I found.
Did you hear when we say you defrauding the government?
That people will do this scam, just so you can understand how exactly this works. I am not telling you should do this. I'm just explaining how it works. Then we're going to talk about best case scenario. You do this, best case scenario, it's not good. We're going to talk middle case scenario. This is terrible for you. And worst case scenario, you should not do this. So hopefully this dissuades a couple people from applying for this fraudulently, and it should entertain everyone else as to how ridiculous this all is. Like, you are going to get in trouble. It's not even a question. You're going to get in trouble. Just to highlight how popular this has gotten recently, take a look at this. This is Google Trends for various search terms: PPP loan scams, loan fraud, and PPP fraud. Yeah, we're at an all-time high by a large margin. Look at how popular this is in the last week or so. It is insane how popular this is.
A lot of people don't know this, but
We got some chump in the chat. Old man Gill's juice or whatever. He says, who cares? Oh, let me pause this. He says PPP loans are targeted for businesses in lower class neighborhoods. It says that on the loan application. Look them all up. Get this garbage off the streets. So, what's your point, Dumbo? We're talking about people who filed PPP loans fraudulently, who did it incorrect. Who gives a fuck who they was targeted for? What's your motherfucking point? You come up in here trying to sound like you super duper smart. Won't you get your bitch ass out of here and go find something productive to do? Sap sucker, sidewalk sissy. Bitchified nigga. Get your tap dancing ass up out of here, nigga.
Here. So this is how the scam works. I mean, it's fairly obvious. I'm almost like lost for words here. So this is how the scam works. I mean, it's fairly obvious how exactly it works, because in order to apply, all you need is some kind of documentation that shows you're a business, that shows your business made money, and shows your business was in business before February 15th, 2020. So you need things like a fake tax return, a fake articles of incorporation, or however you're going to structure your business, and a fake bank statement. And if you know anything about Photoshop or creating any kind of document, that's really not that hard to do. However, what's happening here is, someone will get a fake PPP loan with some fake documentation, and then they'll get funded, $20,000 or potentially more if they're getting multiple rounds or saying that they have employees. And then they reach out to other people and they're like, hey, I just got $20,000 deposited in my account. You want me to do this for you as well? I'll take my cut, $2,000. You'll get 18 grand. We'll both come out of this richer. And they're like, of course, yeah, I'll take $18,000, not knowing how this program works, because it's basically being advertised as free money. They're like, yeah, I'll take my $18,000. Well, the funding goes through, you get approved in some cases, and many people don't get approved because it's obvious fraud. You get approved, you send off your $2,000. The problem is you now hold all the risk for the entire PPP loan. That person who just got $2,000, they don't hold any risk. You're probably paying them cash. Like, they really have no part in this. This is all on you, and you're the one who's going to get in trouble. This is bad news. This is not good. It's like... So I was looking into this. Obviously, I know a lot about the Paycheck Protection Program. I'm like, how are people even doing this? And it's just obvious fraud. It's not even good fraud. Like, you're going to get in trouble. So here's some of the things that I found online searching for this. The Treasury Department's probably going to come after me just for my search history in the last few hours, because it probably looks like I'm trying to scam over the whole system big time. But I swear, Treasury, I'm just trying to learn about this and tell people not to do it. So here's some pictures that I found. So here's the first one. Inbox me for PPP loans. And the small business loans. Stop letting these people scam y'all and charge hundreds and thousands of dollars. So this person is saying, stop the scammers. I'll do this for cheaper. Let's avoid the scammers. And they're obviously the scammers with some screenshots of, congrats, you have been funded from various agencies. Here's someone who suggests that if you're going to do some scamming, you should scam the PPP or other government agents. They're like, if you're going to scam these programs. We take risks every day for way less. And also, mind your business if you're not doing it. It's just like the casual nature of this is stressing me out. This person, do not inbox me if you're not serious about applying for a PPP loan. No, you cannot pay me later. $75 to submit your application. If you think it's a scam, that's your problem. Gosh. So that one's cheap, only $75. I've seen as high as 33% of whatever the loan is. Like there's people who are like, give me $5,000 and I'll do this. Give me $7,000 and I'll do it. This guy's only $75, so I guess it's a screaming deal. If you think it's a scam, it's your problem. Jeez. Oh, here are 2 literal advertisements, posts I saw that will do fake PPP loans. Like these are literal advertisements. It's just $123, $200. And they're like, yep, we'll apply for you. No problem. You don't need a business, nothing.
Hold on for a second.
And here's the last one. PSA, I do not make fake Schedule C's, 1040s, bank statements, or do PPP prison. They made the same joke as I did. Now that I've cleared the air and y'all have unsent me messages, have a marvelous... Okay, I got to appreciate the humor in that one at least. But this is not good. It's like I said, it's literally become a joke how rampant this is. So let's talk best case scenario here. Then we'll do middle scenario and worst case scenario. So best case scenario, all right, you get the PPP loan and you somehow manage to get it forgiven. I don't know how that would even be possible. Let's say that happens, because I guess maybe a very small percentage they'll somehow eke through. Okay, that's best case scenario. What happens next? Now the government thinks that you have a business that earns a ton of money, way more money than you've probably ever earned before. You just told the government that you make $100,000 a year, or maybe more, or maybe that you have employees, even worse. And here's the thing, government agencies talk to each other. We can all thank Palantir for that, and that just makes me want to go ahead and buy some more Palantir stock, because they're going to be working overtime with all these PPP scams. You are telling a government agency that you make way more money. This is going to affect your other government benefits if you receive other benefits. So
He about to invest in a company that's about to be chasing all you folks down who done PPP the fraudulent way. I think I might have to invest in that too.
if you do this, expect things like disability, Section 8 housing, in any kind of income assistance, food stamps. Basically expect that to go away, because now the government thinks that you make way more money. And you might even receive a tax bill. They may go, oh, you received $100,000, you got to pay taxes on that. You know what taxes on $100,000 is? About $25,000, which is more than a PPP loan. It is not worth it. Okay, that's best case scenario. That is best case. Now let's do middle scenario. All right, the government still knows that you made more money. Chances are all the government programs that you may be a part of, you can say goodbye to them in most cases. Now let's say the loan is not forgiven, because for most people, if it's fraudulent, it won't be forgiven. Now you have to pay it back. Okay, so you have a loan that you have to pay it back. It's 1% interest. It's really not a bad loan if you have to have a loan, but you have to pay it back. But chances are the money was blown on things that aren't earning you money, and now you just have more debt and more obligations every single day. And if you fail to pay it back, things get way worse. So now not only do you lose any form of government assistance because they think that you make more money, but now you're not going to ever get future government assistance because you just defaulted on a federal loan. Your credit score is wrecked. You're going to have absolutely no credit or a terrible credit score. And if you're on parole or probation, you're going to be sent to prison.
What's up with it, Thomasina? Thomasina says, did you see the young lady who set up a GoFundMe page to pay back the money or she's going to prison? Yeah, that part. Yeah, I seen that. We about to cover that next, Thomasina. She was super goofy for that. But it's a lot of people up in her shoes. At least she's trying to devise a way to get about the hole.
That's middle case scenario. That's probably the case for most people in that situation. Now let's do worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, you get caught. Either you try to get funding, you don't even get funding. You try to apply for forgiveness, you don't get forgiveness, you get caught. And you get an example made of you. So here's what happens. You lose access to all programs, just like best case, middle case scenario.
Most self-employed and 1099 contract.
Let's go, all these commercials.
With a big fine, probably more than what you received from the PPP program, which is just going to be more money that you owe, and you're probably going to get a few years in prison. That's worst case scenario for defrauding this program. It's just simply so not worth it. I mean, I've talked to people who are deep in this, in the Paycheck Protection Program, and the general consensus is that it is incredibly dumb to try and get a fake PPP loan. I cannot stress this enough. You are committing a felony, and while you commit it, you are giving government agencies all they need to convict you for that felony. You can think of this like you robbed a bank, and while you're robbing the bank, you left your ID on the counter and a signed confession with your fingerprint saying that it was you at the crime scene. You were literally applying for something under your name with false documents attached to your name. This is the worst idea ever. It's just insane. I just cannot believe how rampant this is. I hope that this dissuades one or two people from applying for this. Even taking all ethical reasons aside, like you're taking money from legitimate businesses who are struggling, it is just a terrible idea. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day. PPP.
Oh my goodness, where'd it go? You down with PPP? Who's down with PPP? You down with PPP? I'm down with PPP. Yeah, man. All the homies down with PPP, man. All the homegirls too. Hold up, let me pull up this other video. That's crazy. I think this brother was talking about what you was talking about, Thomasina. With old girl. Who's down with PPP? All the homies. Everybody down like James Brown.
Hey, Pocket Watchers. Welcome to Real Accounting Reacts. I'm accountant Jason Thornton. I am a financial advisor. I'm licensed in both tax and financial planning. And what I do, I react to different business and finance related videos online to help you think like an accountant. And today I will be reacting to a video about a PPP loan scam. So a little bit of background. A PPP loan is a part of the COVID relief bill. It is the Paycheck Protection Program. So this loan is for small businesses that need help to cover their payroll. Now, you can use some of these funds for other business related expenses, but a majority of the funds are supposed to go towards payroll. We're talking about people who have been displaced because of COVID. They weren't able to work. A lot of restaurants had to shut down. So as a benefit, as a part of the COVID relief bill, the PPP loan's supposed to come in and help people who weren't able to get a paycheck because of the COVID shutdowns. The loan basically comes out to be 2.5 months of whatever the payroll of the company was supposed to be. So let's say that a small business has a payroll of, let's say $5,000, right? So you get monthly, you pay out $5,000. What you would do is you would have to apply for the loan, and you wouldn't apply for the loan directly from the government. What you would do is you would apply for a loan through a middleman lender, and the lender would ultimately get the money paid back from the government. But they take a look at how much you do in payroll a month. They'll multiply that by 2.5, and that would be your loan amount. Then after you get the loan and you pay it where it's supposed to go to, you can go back to your lender and fill out the right application, and your loan would be forgiven. That's what the PPP loan was supposed to be used for. But because the government made it extremely easy for people to apply, which is a good thing because there's a lot of small businesses who aren't very savvy when it comes to filling out the forms and stuff like that. So they made it easy, but making it easy for small businesses also made it easy for scammers, people who think this is just free money, people who think that they can just get by and get a whole lot of money, spend it on whatever they want, and the government is not going to catch up with them. Well, this particular video is about a person who the government actually caught up with. And what she ended up doing was she took out $20,000 worth of PPP loans, and the government caught up with her. And to help her pay the money back, she started a GoFundMe page to help pay the government back. So let's take a look at this, and I'll do the best I can to help you think like an accountant.
The Breakfast Club, bitches. You're a dodgy. Donkey of the day for Tuesday, April 20th, 420. Killer Mike's born day goes to Lakeisha Golden. Now, according to her GoFundMe, it says she's from Nashville, Tennessee. Who is Lakeisha Golden? Well, believe it or not, even though she's the one getting donkey of the day today, a lot of you have something in common with Lakeisha Golden. See, a lot of y'all going to prison for COVID-19 loan fraud cases. I don't want to hear it. You knew you was lying when you filled out the application, okay? As of April 15th, 2021, there's over $189 billion in questionable PPP loans, okay? I read an article on pogo.org that said when it comes to PPP fraud cases, law enforcement is just scratching the surface. Oh, they just getting started, okay? The Pogo article spoke on how the SBA's oversight of its taxpayer-backed lending programs proved inadequate, because they became a feeding ground for fraudsters. A bunch of hitman scams. Well, guess what, Uncle Scam? Uncle Sam wants you. And by wants you, I mean wants your ass in prison. Okay, the Justice Department has brought criminal charges against at least 209 individuals in 119 cases related to PPP fraud since banks and other lenders began processing loan applications on behalf of the SBA, okay, on April 3rd, 2020. All
right, so real quick, I want to talk about the process. So there were two major COVID relief programs for small businesses. One was the EIDL loan and grant, right? Then there was the PPP loan. Now, the PPP loan, as I talked about before, was a loan to help small businesses cover their payroll, and that loan is forgivable. The EIDL loan was two parts to it. You got a grant of up to $10,000. So that grant was, you don't have to pay that back. And then you also were offered a loan amount at a fixed rate at, I believe, 2.75 for small businesses over a 30-year term. And I believe the maximum originally was going to be around $500,000, but because they had so many people apply, I believe that first round of the EIDL loan was around $150,000 you could apply for it. Now that is a loan that's not forgivable, but it's on a term of a 30-year fixed rate loan. Now, the EIDL, you actually apply directly through the SBA, right? The Small Business Administration. You did that directly with the government. The reason why I bring that up is, opposed to the EIDL, the PPP loan, you actually did not go directly to the government to apply for that loan. You actually went through different lenders. So you can go to a bank, even things online like PayPal and Square and stuff like that. They were offering the PPP loan. And basically that's how they were actually making money. So that's one reason why it kind of made it easy, because these middlemen lending institutions, they would make money off the loan because they would charge certain fees, knowing that the government would actually forgive the loan if the loan was paid off and applied correctly. But because there's middlemen in this situation, You have people with the incentive of trying to get these loans approved almost no matter what, because they felt as if they were going to make their fee no matter what on processing the loan. Then the government was going to pay the loan off, so they were all good. And because of that, a lot of the documentation that was needed to actually apply for the loan could have been fraudulent. And the person, that middleman company, be it a consultant, be it some lending institution, they now have an incentive to kind of look the other way and not really make sure that the documents were perfect, because they didn't want to slow down the money train. They got a lot of money. They made a lot of money by processing these loans. So I want to make sure I have that element in there. When it comes to the PPP loans, these middleman institutions, these lending institutions, banks and whatnot, that were processing the loans for the government, they weren't doing it for free. They got paid off the deal. And because they were getting paid off the deal, and if there was a fraud case, all of the fraud would fall on the applicant, the person who was applying for the loan. They would still get the money no matter what. They're going to get their money. But the person who is applying, who could definitely be in a situation where they are lying on the documents, it's not a lot of incentive for that middleman to really make sure that everything is right. And they'll let it go because they're going to get paid regardless.
If you noticed your body starting to ache,
According to pogo.org, this is just the beginning. Let me tell you something. I have never claimed to be the highest grade of weed in the dispensary. I have told you over and over that I am not the strongest Avenger, but I told you all last year, in the middle of this pandemic, when they started giving out these damn PPP loans, that a bunch of y'all was going to prison. LLC Twitter was born during the pandemic. Okay, all of y'all with your dumbass LLC names, you got your slave master's last name LLC, Jenkins LLC. And Johnson LLC, and Jackson LLC, naming LLCs after things going on in your life. Ain't got no job LLC, living with mom at 32 LLC, only smoke exotic LLC. I hate you niggas LLC. Well, that's mine. That's my LLC. I just established that in my brain for people I don't talk to after 5 p.m. and that's you. Okay, but listen, who told y'all the government was giving out free money? You Negroes believe in every BS conspiracy theory. Oh, 5G towers are causing COVID. Oh, the earth is really flat. But when it comes to the Paycheck Protection Program, lending out $755 billion to businesses as of April 11th, you thought it was all good? You thought that the government's cup just run up over and they're finally going to do right by the American people? No, it was a trap. Okay, was it a way to help legitimate small businesses? Yes, but they all also knew the poor and disenfranchised among us who were in dire need at the time would take advantage of these loans. That's why they didn't stop the alleged fraud, because they were playing the long game. Take the money, ball out. We gonna come get your ass later, okay, and throw you under the jail and get some free labor out your ass. Fraudulent PPP loans, making false statements to the SBA, carry a fine of up to $1 million and 30 years of federal imprisonment. And guess who doesn't feel sorry for you? Me. Okay, because you LLC Twitter niggas know. Okay, y'all know everything about everyone else's business, but don't know how to handle your own. And now, okay, eventually, you will find yourself in a situation like Lakeisha Golden is in. First of all, let me tell you something. I respect Lakeisha Golden, and I'm going to tell you why. She's honest. See, Lakeisha started a GoFundMe yesterday with the title, Help Me Pay Back the PPP Loan. And the details of the loan, she said, and I'm going to read it just the way she typed it, I got 20,000 PPP loan. Now the feds after me. PLZ. Help. I can't do jail. I got 3 kids. DAT need me. So far, she's raised $3,513. Who are you, Captain Saver, nigga? Okay, sometimes you must get out of the way of the lesson God is trying to teach a person. Lakeisha, you can't use the same excuse you used when you applied for the loan, okay? I need to see what your LLC name is. Can we look that up? Can we look up what Lakeisha Golden's LLC name is? I'm thinking it's something like Living Life Golden LLC, Golden Girl LLC, Gold in my watch, gold in my chain LLC. Or was it all golden, everything LLC? I hate when I can smell niggotry. I like to sit on my niggotry subtle, okay? Anyway, you can't use the same excuse you used when you applied for the loan. I guarantee when you convinced yourself to commit this crime, you said you have to do what you got to do. You got 3 kids, DAT needs you. Now that you're facing jail time, you can't go to jail because you got 3 kids, DAT needs you. Now she's got 91 donors. I saw her post an update yesterday. She said, keep the donations coming. Y'all, my kids need me out here. FR. If you don't speak fluent, nigga, that means for real, for real. What I don't understand is the people donating money and scolding her at the same time. Okay? 3 hours ago, someone donated $5 and said, dumbass, how you blow through 20K? Some anonymous person donated $1,000. I need you to know, Anonymous, that God is not pleased with that. You getting in the way of what God is trying to teach Lakeisha Golden. Lakeisha, this isn't your first poor choice in life. Okay? And God is tired. He's been sending all your prayer requests to his spam folder because you just don't listen. All right, somebody named Claus CL donated $1,000. Claus? Why? Claus, if your first name isn't Santa, I don't see the need for the gift. Katie Sweeney donated $600. She donated $100 once and another $500 later. Katie, I know you might be trying to create some good karma for yourself, but this isn't the way. Whatever happens to Lakeisha Golden, she earned it. Okay, what she didn't earn was that $20,000, but she earned that time she's going to get. Yes, I don't want to see her away from her kids, but guess what? She shouldn't want to see herself away from her kids. Therefore, she needs to make better choices. I love everybody donating just to get jokes off, but you're donating too much. $5 is too much. Okay, donate $1 to get these jokes off. Somebody.
Okay, so I think I figured it out. You know, for all the people who's worried how you can get out of it, you do like Lakeisha and create you a GoFundMe. Now, you need to go do this pronto, like right now. You know, so you can get some of the monies back.
Donated $5 and put, tell me you're a broke ass B without telling me you're a broke ass B. Somebody put prison jumpsuit designer for $5. Somebody else put have fun in jail, girl, bye, not buy, B-U-B-Y-E-B-U-Y. And then they donated $5. I don't know, man. You know, let me not knock this woman's hustle. If y'all want to give this woman $20,000 to pay her PPP loans off, that's on you. But when do people learn from their mistakes if they never have to deal with the consequences of said mistake? How will Lakeisha Golden ever know true responsibility if she can just finesse the system for $20,000 when she's broke and then finesse people with a sob story to pay that money back? No. Listen, message for all you future convicts who are going to jail for PPP fraud. I hope the double wide trailer you bought in the country was worth it. Okay, don't be surprised if they take that back if you can't pay the loan back. Okay, I hope the trip to Miami was worth it. Finger Licking is a good ass restaurant, isn't it? You stayed at Fontainebleau, you enjoyed the cookies. Okay, great. Those memories will get you through those long, lonely nights in that cell. I don't feel sorry for you. I know real legitimate small businesses who had to go under because they couldn't get no money from these PPP loans. So I have no remorse for your finessing ass. Okay, the word of the day is accountability. All right, you either make yourself accountable or you will be made accountable by your circumstances. Please let Remy Ma give Lakeisha Golden the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. You dumb.
And you better not be over there on your phone donating her. Envy.
Okay. All right. So what can we learn for this? All right. First and foremost, there is no such thing as free money. All money has some sort of cost to it, right? If you knew you did not have a business, then you had no eligibility to try to get the PPP loan. And to think that you were going to get a loan for the government and you can spend the money on whatever you want, regardless of what the eligibility said, and you weren't going to get caught is absolutely insane. I mean, we live in a society where the money that we use is very easily trackable. I mean, these companies that got these loans, it was a direct deposit into a bank account. Most people are going to be using money, especially during COVID. When you're buying things, you're going to be using debit card or maybe a check. You're not spending that much money in cash. It's not going to be very hard for the government to find out where and how you spent this money. Then, when you applied for the loan and you signed the documents, you agreed to certain conditions. And a part of those conditions were that the government can come back and double check and make sure that the information that you self-certified, so you check marked or you agreed that the information that you were providing was true and authentic, and you self-certified that information. Well, the government also said we have the ability to come back and check and make sure the information that you self-certified was actually accurate. Like, you can't allow your greed to get you so hyped up that you think that you can get away with anything. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to think about tomorrow and the consequences of tomorrow. I'm just going to focus on this money that I can get today, which is absolutely insane. For those people out there who got the EIDL loan, the thing that I was talking about before, the grant, that $1,000 per employee up to $10,000. If you got that loan or that grant and you think that the government's not going to double back and make sure that, one, you actually had a legitimate business that was eligible for it, you think that you could just spend that money, have that money, and it doesn't matter, you are insane. Eventually, the government's going to double back and make sure that the people who they gave money to was, one, actually eligible for that money, and two, they actually used the money for the purpose of what the loan was for. So that's part one. Part two, I want to take a look, and they actually have people call into the show. They call into the show, and we can actually hear other people confessing. People who call into the show and they are confessing to the fact that they got caught up in this stuff too. So let me turn down the volume because that was extremely loud. And let's hear what some of the people have to say.
Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy, we are the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Hi. We're just here talking to all you little scammers this morning. Now, Charlamagne, you want to break it down? You asked the question better than I do. Go ahead. Well, I gave Donkey the day to Lakeisha Golden this morning. Good morning, Lakeisha. May the force be with you. And it just got us to thinking, have you or somebody committed PPP fraud? You know what I mean? You want to get that off your chest. You want to beg God or the government for forgiveness. You scared and want to vent? Call us right now. I heard the lines are blowing up with people ready to vent and make confessions. Hello, who's this?
It's Quick.
What's up, Quick? We'll take the name Quick. What you did, Quick?
I took that loan from.
How much you got, Quick?
I got like 23, but I took that same money that the bank was worth a little bit more and got some gold. But
got some what? You got some gold.
Got some gold. Came back and sold that shit.
Oh, you bought some gold. Now, gold was a good thing to buy last year. So how much did you make?
I made enough to get their money back now.
So you paid them back already?
Not yet. When they asked for it.
All right, you sit there when they ask for it. By the time they ask for it, it's going to be too damn late. Better pay them people their money back.
Listen, just because you pay the money back,
still committed
that doesn't
fraud.
mean that you did not commit a crime.
Exactly.
Don't get it confused. I mean, think of it like this. If I rob a bank, right? I go into the bank, ski masked up, everything. I rob a bank. I take out $100,000, rob the bank. Boom, gone. Then I invest that money, flip it a couple of times. Now I got $300,000. Just because I go back to the bank and give them the $100,000 back, that doesn't mean I did not commit a crime. It doesn't mean that I will not be arrested. Just giving the money back isn't enough. Giving the money back is a start. Giving the money back, hopefully, if you get a good enough attorney, means that you will have some sort of leniency on the sentencing or the charges that you may get. Maybe they'll work out some deal if you're able to pay the money back. But simply paying the money back doesn't mean that you get off, right? You committed fraud. You knowingly committed fraud. And even if you pay all the money back, you are still guilty of a crime. Just so let's put that out there.
Now, did you do an SBA or PPP? PPP. Oh my goodness. Hey, pay that goddamn money back. Pay that money back. All right, so the PPP is supposed to be used for your business and your job. The SBA, you got a little more leniency, but the PPP is supposed to be.
It was in my best business interest to go and get some gold and flip.
Oh my goodness. Hey, what's the name of your LLC?
Nope.
I don't even know. Somebody made it for me.
You said what?
He don't even know. Somebody made it for him. He doesn't know.
Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness. Well, you quick flip. Have a good day, quick flip. Hello, who's this?
Kayla.
Kayla, good morning.
Good morning.
Now we're asking 800-585-1051. Did you, with the money?
I didn't do it. I backed out. She already sounds like she lying. No, honestly, I just had a baby a couple of years ago. So I'm not even gonna lie, I was like head first in it. And then I backed out at the last minute. I was like, nah, you can cancel my loan. Because where I'm from, they had just discovered the list. And I was like, nah, I'm too embarrassed to have my name on the list.
Oh, so people already was getting locked up from where you was from?
Yeah, they've been doing a roundup where I'm at for a while. They just caught somebody doing, I think she did like 4 $20,000 loans.
Damn.
4 of them. She did 4 of them.
Any friends of yours?
Oh no, I know people who did it, but they ain't get caught yet.
Well, I want to thank you for making a smart choice. That little child in the backseat of your car thanks you, because mommy will be here for them, because she will not be in jail.
Look, I still kind of want to do it. Shit, I'm out here struggling.
But let's be clear. The word is loan. The key word is loan. So you do have to pay it back.
In some cases, you got to pay it back, but a lot of cases, you might not have to pay it back, though. You don't have to pay it back if you can prove the money went to your employees. That's right. If the money went to your employees.
You got to pay it back. Like, not only that, they think, oh, you're going to pay it back and you're not going to go to jail. I'm like, nah, you're committing wire fraud. And defraud is the federal government. Y'all going to jail.
Give me your cash app. Say your cash app right now. I'm going to send you a little something. A little something now.
I will tell it to you privately because I don't want them to know.
Oh, you don't want, but you didn't do nothing.
I know.
You don't even know who it is.
My real name.
Oh, got you. Okay. We put you on hold. Get her cash app, baby. Send you a little something for doing the right thing. Oh, that's nice. She said she's struggling. 585-1051. We're asking, have you, took a PPP loan and did some craziness? Have you or somebody you know committed PPP fraud? I mean, this can weigh heavy on you. You committed a crime. You know you're going to jail. You know it's only a matter of time. That's true. Before they come. You know exactly how drug dealers feel. It's only a matter of time.
Percentage-wise, how many people get away with it?
Nobody. It's only been hasn't even been a year yet. Check. They definitely check. It's only a matter of time. To see where it goes. Hello, who's this?
Hey, it's Lauren.
Lauren, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, so go ahead.
PPP last summer was a hot mess. They all went to jail. All of them.
Are you in that number?
No. I moved into my house and I had somebody that lived in my house maybe like 5 years ago. And they like, yo, I got some mail to your house. Can you let me know if it comes through? Not for my insurance subject.
Really?
Crazy.
And what happened? How much of it did you keep?
I'm not getting caught up with the IRS.
All right, I'm just making sure. You a smart woman.
What you say?
I said you a smart woman. You want to tell on anybody? You want to?
Nah.
She ain't no snitch. Come on.
All right. Thank you, Mama. Hello, who's this?
Hello.
Hey, what's your name, bro?
How you doing? I'm nervous as hell. My name's Sean, though.
Sounds like you did a PPP loan and bought something stupid.
No, I ain't get it. I want it, but I'm talking about a truck. You see, I can't find out how to do it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do it. You're gonna go to jail. So you wanted to do it, but you couldn't figure out how.
All right, let's be clear.
This nigga looking for
The
information.
PPP loan or the EIDL loan, these are not loans for you to start a business, right? You don't take this money and say, okay, I'm going to start a business with this money. This money is for existing businesses that existed before COVID happened. So this is for a business that already existed and they needed the money to cover payroll, to help cover payroll because their business was affected by COVID. It's not for you to take money and say, okay, now I'm going to start a business with this money.
Which makes absolute sense. So for them people who are taking the money, starting the business, getting the LLC name and all that old good stuff, that's not going to apply to you. Like, they ain't going to fall up under forgiving the loan because you're already supposed to be a business, not take the money, already an existing business, not take this money from the government, then go file, for your LLC, file it as a business and think you in the clear. It's a lot of people doing that.
If you applied for the loan and you lied on the loan application, that is fraud. No matter how you try to twist it, it is fraud.
Everybody around me getting loans every night. That's fine. No shit.
Everybody around you going to jail.
True enough. But everybody out here getting like these,
It doesn't matter. see, that's that FOMO. That's that fear of missing out. Just because everybody around you is getting this money and you don't see them immediately go to jail doesn't mean everything's okay, right? It's going to take time for the government to catch up to these people. And you're not really missing out on anything. What you're missing out on is a felony. That's what you're missing out on. You're missing out on catching a felony.
Loans and GoFundMe's. I'm trying to be a good daddy, good husband.
Just relax.
My son just nobody.
You're gonna be fine, sir.
I appreciate it.
Just do it the right way.
That's right. Keep doing things the right way. I know it's hard, man. I know sometimes when you just look around and you see everybody scamming and finessing and getting on, you got to just look at it the same way you used to look at the drug dealers in the hood growing up. Yeah, what they was doing looked sexy, but where all of them at now?
That is true.
Jail or dead?
Well, then you have Jay-Z, who's a billionaire.
That ain't, that's once in
a blue moon.
One out of a billion.
Right.
Okay?
You could have it for you.
But I would say that you definitely have to do the fine print. And I think a lot of you guys that are doing this, making these fake corporations.
Yeah, what's up with it, Compton Rory? Rory the comedian up in the hizzle for shizzle.
You get a PPP loan. You cannot say, you know what, I'm gonna go buy and flip a crib. You cannot do that.
Right.
No. I've heard a couple of rappers say, yeah, no, you cannot do that.
Niggas love flipping everything.
What if you pay it back though? What if you pay it back?
They said you're only supposed to use this loan for your business and your employees.
Yeah, what people don't understand is you're lying. That's what's going to get you jammed up. The fact that you're lying about what it is you need to get the SBA or get the PPP. You're lying. It's a lie.
But let me ask you this. Okay, I just hypothetically speaking.
He's going to jail.
Well, I didn't do it, but just say hypothetically speaking, you did get this loan, you did invest it, flip it, and pay it back. Then what?
You still
go to jail?
It's still.
If they find out you lied to get the money in the first place.
Yes, if you
absolutely.
So, for instance, what people can do is
you profited. Not only did you lie, which is bad enough, but you profited off the lie, right? You made a profit off the lie. So that's even that feels even worse, right? I mean, you took the money on false pretenses, you flipped it, and you paid the money back. It's still going to be considered a crime. So
what Quick say? Quit banging under. He said, quit banging under false pretense. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Just to wrap this up, if you are someone is in a situation where they know that they applied for the PPP, for the EIDL, whatever. If you know you lied or you were someone convinced you to basically commit fraud, and now you're sweating bullets because you're afraid that the FBI or the IRS is going to kick in your door any day now, don't sit on your hands. Be proactive. What I would suggest for you to do, I'm not an attorney, I'm a financial advisor. But what I would suggest, if a client came to me and they said, hey, I got this loan from the government and I lied on the forms, what I would probably do is immediately call a criminal defense attorney, someone who does deal in white collar crimes. And I would set.
Damn, he didn't say file no type of paperwork and call a number, you know, tell them maybe you think you made a mistake, so you want to give the money back or the rest of the money, you know, because you thought you had made a mistake, you know, you figured out some information later on, and you probably made a mistake, you know, with trying to qualify, and you want to try to clear your name up right then and there. You know, ain't no special hotline number, ain't no way to file the paperwork. That nigga said, get you a criminal defense attorney. That's some cold shit. Boy, that's some cold shit right there. That nigga said, get you a criminal defense attorney. That's some cold shit. Damn.
Set up a free consultation so that they can sit down and talk to that attorney, and you'll have client-attorney privilege. So whatever you tell the attorney during that appointment, it's going to be privileged. They're not going to run out and tell the government what you tell them in that private consultation, and you can at least get some sort of guidance on what you need.
Yeah, he said, nigga, confess your feelings to the right person, nigga. Don't call the government up confessing, nigga. Confess your feelings to the attorney, because you got a client attorney privileges where, you know, he can't, even if you admit to the crime or whatever and tell the truth, he can't go tell nobody else. You know what I'm saying? But don't tell the government.
To do, there's a very good possibility that that attorney can represent you. You can just kind of turn yourself in and you can get the best plea deal possible. And if you still have the money, or you flip the money and you have.
Minimalistic Life 101 says, why didn't people think this through? Well, shit, I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of it was prompted by fear. You know, just think that, you know, people existing in this lifetime, we ain't never experienced nothing like the coronavirus. You know, that shit hit hard. It hit everybody hard. That shit affected the world in a sense. So I can get fear-based made them, maybe the majority of the people do that. You know, just being scared, like, you know, not knowing what's to come, and like, man, fuck it, I need this money. They was probably thinking I'll deal with the repercussions later on.
Have it, maybe you can use that as leverage to help mitigate whatever backlash you're going to get from the government. But as long as you're sitting on your hands waiting for the door to get kicked in, waiting to get caught, you're losing the opportunity to try to position yourself in the best way possible. So come on, people. If you filled out that loan application, you got money for the government that you know you were not supposed to get. Do the right thing. It's probably best to turn yourself in. I would get a criminal defense attorney. I would talk to them.
And this goes out to the people that actually use a third party, that use Pookie and them, Ray and all his friends. Oh, I got the hookup for you, man. All you got to do is give Pookie $4,000, and you get $16,000 in your bank account. You know, $20,000 loans and wooty woo bam. That was not the right way to do this shit.
And see what they can do and what's the best way possible that I can turn myself in, pay back the money, and maybe just get a slap on the wrist. But if you make the government actually have to work to get you, to work to catch you, is going to be worse. So Thank you, Pocket Watchers. Thanks for subscribing. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm over 4,000 subscribers so far. It's been amazing. Want to give another shout out to my brother Tijuana Jackson with the hook.
JT Pocket Watchers JT. Y'all can type them up in YouTube. Check out Playboy. He's an accountant, very informative brother. You know, they're popping that gospel about them finances. So you might want to stay tuned in to old boy. And he giving up game on how to, counteract that shit. In case you did misfile that PPP loan. Little tips and tricks may help you out in the end. So shout out to that brother for giving up the game.
Meet Chris.
Back. There's no guarantee that they're just going to be like, okay, whatever, nothing to see here. They might still get you on committing fraud because essentially you still committed fraud in order to obtain those funds, even though you paid them back. Did you get a PPP loan that you know that maybe you shouldn't have gotten? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. So let's just jump into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the PPP loan, the Paycheck Protection Program loan that a lot of small businesses, 1099 contractors, and maybe even some scammers and fraudsters got a hold of. The reason I decided to make this video is because I've had a lot of people reach out to me on different social media platforms, even through my website, and they've been asking me a lot of questions about the PPP program. And now these questions range from a wide variety of things. Some people ask me, what do they do if they got the loan and maybe they know deep down inside they weren't supposed to? They also ask me, how do they go about returning the money of the loan? Some people I've even talked to don't even know who the lender of the loan is. So let's just jump into all of this. So I'm not going to go into the whole backstory of the PPP loan. You already know about it. But essentially, the way that you qualified for it in the first round was that you went off of line 31 on your Schedule C. Now, your Schedule C is a tax form that is included in your taxes and is basically a profit and loss statement from your business. So basically, this Schedule C is what you use in order to qualify for the PPP loan. Now, the thing about the Schedule C that you turned in for the PPP loan was self-certified. And also, at the time of the first round, a lot of people hadn't yet filed their taxes. So if you didn't file your taxes yet, you still had the opportunity to do so. But in the meantime, you could submit a draft Schedule C in order to determine what amount of money you would get from the PPP program. Now, on these forms, you were supposed to self-certify. So the thing is let's just say that you made $30,000 net. That was on your line 31. If at the time you hadn't yet filed your taxes, you can turn in a draft saying that you believe that your net profit would be $30,000. Now, this was up to you to self-certify, right? And then when you actually file for forgiveness of the loan, okay, you would actually put up what you actually filed on your taxes. So say, for example, you told the bank or you told your lender that your net 31 or your line 31 net profit was going to be $30,000. But when you actually went to go file your taxes, maybe you took some more deductions and you ended up with a net profit of $25,000. Well, simply put, the formula that you used, okay, on your line 31, even on your draft, okay, is what you use to determine how much money you would get from the program. Okay, and then what you actually file in your taxes determines on how much you'll get forgiven of that actual loan. So that's basically the way the PPP program worked in the first round. Now, in the second round is going off the gross, but I already did another video for that. I'll leave a link for it in the description. Now, the reason I said all of that about the line 31 and your Schedule C is because sometimes you make 1099 income, okay? So I'm talking to sole proprietors, maybe single member LLCs, okay? Sometimes you get that 1099 income. Sometimes you make income from businesses and they don't send you a 1099. And regardless, even if they don't, you can still claim that money on your taxes. Now, here's the thing about being a 1099 or an independent contractor. When you get paid, you don't take out taxes. So whatever you're filing on that Schedule C, you have to pay on your taxes. So if you file $30,000 as your net profit, you have to pay taxes on that $30,000. Now, there's a lot of people who've been getting caught up in this whole PPP thing. Like I've said, I've had people reach out to me on different social media platforms with all kinds of stories. And one of the worst things that I've heard is some people have told me that they don't even know who the lender is. So maybe they got this money and now they want to give the money back and they don't even know who the lender is. To me, this is problematic because, first of all, in order to get that loan, you had to give somebody or whoever did that PPP loan for you some sensitive information. And here's the thing. If you're a legit business, if you're a legit 1099 contractor and you just go out online, look around, see the different resources, it's not like it's very hard to figure out what you need to do to apply for this loan. You can even call up banks and different lenders and they'll tell you how to go about applying for this loan as well. So if you remember what I just said about all that, Schedule C talk, right? Basically, you tell the government how much you make. Sometimes you have 1099s and sometimes you don't. So if you wanted to get a fraudulent PPP loan, you can essentially submit a fraudulent Schedule C. Now, to me, this makes absolutely no sense because, meanwhile, you'll get the money, but you're submitting a fraudulent Schedule C. And basically, you're telling the government that you made X amount of dollars, right? And essentially, you're going to have to pay taxes on that. And that was kind of the thing about this whole PPP loan. It was very easy to get. And essentially, I guess if you wanted to be a scammer, you can put up a fraudulent Schedule C. So people were going out, they were making fake businesses. They were having people do loans for them. And then I guess those people were taking a percentage. And I guess they were telling them it's all good. It's going to be forgiven completely, 100%. It's like free money. But this is the federal government that we're talking about. And listen, there ain't no free lunch with them, okay? Basically, they can, run all of your information. So like I said, in order to get this loan, you had to give up sensitive information. A main one being your social security number, right? So hopefully you didn't have somebody go out and get this loan for you because you gave them very sensitive information in order to obtain this quote unquote free money. Now, here's the thing. If you legit qualify for this loan, you should absolutely take advantage of this program. But if you don't legitimately qualify for this loan and you take the loan, then you are at jeopardy for committing fraud against the federal government. So let's just say that you got this loan on fraudulent terms. The question next is, well, are you going to go to jail? And the answer to that is, well, maybe. I'm assuming that they'll probably go on a case-by-case basis. But if you fraudulently got this loan, you better try to give that money back as quick as possible. Even if you give the money back, there's no guarantee that they're just going to be like, okay, whatever, nothing to see here. They might still get you on committing fraud because essentially you still committed fraud in order to obtain those funds, even though you paid them back. So I know right now there's a lot of temptation out there. There's even been people who've reached out to me and asked me to help them with their loans, which I'm not doing. I'm not a professional. You need to go find a professional, or you need to go out there and do the research and talk to the people that you need to talk to learn about this program. Because like I said, if you're eligible for it, it's a great program to take advantage of. So if you're legitimately eligible for this program, absolutely go for it. But if you're not, just leave it alone. There's no free money. There's no free lunch when you're dealing with the government, and you don't want to get caught up in something where there's no statute of limitations, because essentially they can come get you at any time, even when you think that the heat died down. So I'm just making this video and putting it out there that if you are thinking about getting a PPP loan and you do not qualify, I would just stay away from it. Just look for something else. But in the event that you have an actual business, you're an actual 1099 worker, maybe you're doing Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, maybe you're a freelance photographer, videographer, graphic designer, blogger, YouTuber, whatever, okay? Usually programs like this are not open, okay, to those type of quote unquote business owners. So this is a great opportunity. If you're eligible, take advantage of it. Make sure you have your paperwork in order. Make sure you have all your numbers in order, and, you know, go for it. And for those who aren't eligible, I'm not trying to scare you, but I am trying to let you know that that sucks, that something like this, that you could be committing, that you self-certify, okay? Because the blame is going to be all on you. It's not on the banks. You had to self-certify, okay? You could be caught up in something like fraud, where there's no statute of limitations against the federal government, which is just ridiculous. They could come get you 10 years later, and, you know, I mean, that's just ridiculous, but it could possibly happen. So I hope you found this video useful, insightful, and informative. And if so, give me a like and drop me a comment and let me know what's going on with you right now. Did you take one of those loans, even though you know you weren't supposed to? And if you were eligible to get the loan, how's it been working out for you? So for all my people out there who are trying to build a life on their terms and get it how they live, this is your man, Jonathan Moore, and I'm signing out.
Yeah, shout out to Jonathan Moore. He gave up some useful information. I wanted to see this.
In reporting on this.
See this headline right here. It says PPP loan scammers getting arrested by the CIA. Man, no, they don't got the CIA going at the motherfuckers.
Go ahead, Karen. Come on up. Appreciate you all being here today and reporting on this and assisting us. I want to thank our media partners for being here for this announcement today. It's a significant arrest conducted by the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office in partnership with Sarasota County Government, the Clerk of the Circuit Court, County Comptroller, the State Attorney's Office, and the United States Secret Service. And I'd like to just read a brief statement, if I could, about the facts of the case, and then we'll certainly have some opportunity for some other folks to make a comment and also to ask any questions from you all. In September of 2020, the federal government allocated $75 million to Sarasota County as part of the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, known as the CARES Act. Sarasota County government was tasked with reviewing applications for individuals and businesses who were financially impacted due to COVID-19. The Individual Assistance Program provided funding up to $10,000 per household, while the Small Business Recovery Package funded up to $49,999 to small businesses negatively impacted by this pandemic. With credit to Sarasota County government, they set up an entire team to handle the CARES Act program to ensure the appropriate distribution of funds. Not long after the program began, the county and Clerk Rushing's office contacted the Sheriff's Office after a series of suspicious applications were submitted seeking CARES Act funding. As detectives began looking at the applications, they identified nearly 200 that appeared to be fraudulent. Out of the 200, there were 114 submitted by the same IP address, computer IP address. And you see the computers that we've seized here in the search warrant, which led detectives to SRQ Financial Solutions, LLC, a tax preparation business located at 4034 North Washington Boulevard in Sarasota. As detectives started reviewing the 114 applications, they identified several suspicious profit and loss statements, fictitious bank statements, and questionable tax documents related to these applications. On February 24th, detectives executed a search warrant at SRQ Financial Solutions, where they seized computers and more than 1,500 files that you see here to my left that the detectives are still going through. As detectives began interviews with more than 24 clients who sought services through SRQ Financial Solutions, they learned the business collected a $150 application fee to submit a CARES Act application on behalf of the client. They would then take 20% of the funds as payment once the funds were released by the county. During interviews, several clients told detectives they were never asked for financial information about their business until after the application had been submitted. When presented copies of 2019 profit and loss statements that SRQ Financial Solutions submitted on their behalf, several clients admitted the numbers were false. Some told detectives their businesses were not even operational in 2019. The fabrication of the financial statements was done entirely by employees at SRQ Financial Solutions. It should be noted that none of the individuals who sought services from SRQ Financial Solutions provided fraudulent information or helped in the scheme, with the exception of the 4 people you see at the bottom row of this poster. Willie Rhodes, Shanice Rhodes, Shaquaya Cooper, and Eddie Yarn. As of this morning, we took the last 2 remaining individuals, Willie Rhodes, into custody in Hillsborough County, and Shaquaya Cooper was apprehended about an hour ago hiding under a bed in Manatee County. So all 8 of these individuals are currently in custody. The 4 at the bottom completed applications with false information for individual personal gain. Shanice Rhodes reported that she had been laid off and stated her income in 2020 was $0. She requested CARES funds for rental and utility assistance and was granted $5,000. A review of her income statement from 2020 confirmed that she was employed and did in fact earn a salary that year. Shaquaya Cooper lives in Manatee County, but used her friend's address in Sarasota County to apply for Sarasota CARES Act funds. Cooper reported her party planning business was impacted, and she requested $25,611 from Sarasota County. Willie Rhodes requested $42,000 for his consulting business. He also requested $15,000 in individual support. Mr. Rhodes does not have a consulting business, but what he does have are prior arrests for resisting with violence, fleeing to elude, aggravated stalking, and burglary involving a battery. The ringleader of the operation is Pariah Rhodes. SRQ Financial Solutions is registered under her name. She ran the operation and submitted the application on behalf of her clients. In total, more than $319,000 was released because of her applications. A few appear to be legitimate, the majority of which are fraudulent. Rhodes employed Maria Bradley, Nikki Shepard, and Raylyn Tillman in her business. On Thursday of last week, ironically April 15th, tax day, arrest warrants were issued for the 8 people you see here, and unfortunately this is just the beginning for our detectives as we begin to go through the material that we have seized in the search warrant. The remaining files and various applications still need to be investigated, including, as I mentioned, fraudulent tax documents and what appear to be...
So everybody who she helped file, they got the computer right there. They about to go get all the names.
False SBA or small business loans. It is our estimation that detectives have uncovered over $4 million in attempted CARES Act fraud here in Sarasota County. The Sheriff's Office is working closely with the United States Secret Service. Rick Dean, who's here with us, special agent in charge, assistant to the special agent in charge, is with us here today, and we want to thank the Secret Service for their part.
I got a question. What do they do with the money that they recover? Do they hold it, freeze it somewhere because it's part of a criminal investigation? That's money that needs to go back out to the, small businesses who really need it. Rory says, so who do we call on them? I know many people who has ordered and never received it. Credit card, all fucked up. Oh, that PPP loan is over with, man. I'm gonna play a video for you. It was breaking news. And I think it was like maybe 24 hours ago. All the PPP loan money is gone. Ain't no more money.
Partnership. For those of you that don't know, we work very closely with the Secret Service. They helped us both in the analyzing.
Yeah, but they just said they recovered $4 million. But I want to know what happens to that money. Do it immediately go back through the proper channels, like where it's needed, or do they hold it as evidence as part of a criminal investigation?
The electronic documents, and they actually had agents here to help us apprehend the 8 that you see on the board. Our agency is also working closely with the State Attorney's Office. Assistant State Attorney Andrew Van Sickle is here today to see that these criminals are brought to justice for their crime. We are also grateful to Sarasota County Government, County Administrator Jonathan Lewis, and Clerk of the Circuit Court and County Comptroller Karen Rushing for their vigilance in identifying this fraud on the front end, bringing it to the attention of our detectives and allowing us to investigate it. Without strong intergovernmental partnerships like this, cases like these may otherwise fall by the wayside, and often do. And I would be remiss if I...
Man, at the beginning of this video, and like I said, I'm not on no low whole race tip. But it's kind of ironic. At the beginning of this video, a sister was saying that this was a setup for black people. And it's kind of ironic, the more and more, because I've been looking up these cases all week. And every last single case I've seen where people have been arrested, they've been all of them have been black. That's crazy.
I didn't recognize the men and women of our criminal investigation section. We have some of the best detectives you see in the back of the room here with me here today in the state of Florida, and they have put in many, many days of effort to locate these individuals and to process these cases. The two lead detectives have been almost exclusive.
Remember that sister said the government knew what y'all was doing. Like they was letting y'all do it. That's some cold shit right there. Now you can say that's a conspiracy theory or whatever. But you know, you've got the conspiracy theory freaks out there or whatever. Or the people who like to go against the conspiracy theories. But all I know is, and I've seen dozens and dozens of people. Like you can look up the statistics on your own. There's been hundreds of people already arrested. And just from the people I've seen, all of them been black.
On this case since we received it, and obviously there is a significant amount of documentation to still review. So I want to thank you to all those that are involved behind me here today, to our media partners for covering the story. If your viewers had interaction with this business or any other business you believe is perpetrating fraud of any type, a CARES Act fraud,
if we catch crab in Virginia.
This means that the federal sentencing guidelines apply. So the federal sentencing guidelines chart, and you can see I use this a lot, is based on this graph. So if you can see, there's a column going this way and a column going this way. This column is the offense level, and this column is the criminal history category. And in the middle are series of numbers which correspond to numbers of months. So let me explain, what does this mean, okay? So this column, the offense level column, every crime is assigned a specific offense level. So if you're charged with a theft crime, your base offense level would be 7. Okay, so that brings us here. Assuming you have no prior convictions, you would be in this first row, okay? Then
hold on, let me rewind. Is this chick breaking down the sentencing? Like if you get convicted of this type of crime.
Is ringing off the hook because you guys are calling me about PPP loan fraud. So let me tell you what I know and what I can tell you about it. And that brings me to PPP loan fraud sentencing. So PPP loans are a federal program. So any case involving PPP loans are going to be charged in federal court. This means that the federal sentencing guidelines apply. So the federal sentencing guidelines chart, and you can see I use this a lot, is based on this graph. So if you can see, there's a column going this way and a column going this way. This column is the offense level, and this column is the criminal history category. And in the middle are series of numbers which correspond to numbers of months. So let me explain, what does this mean, okay? So this column, the offense level column, every crime is assigned a specific offense level. So if you're charged with a theft crime, your base offense level would be 7. Okay, so that brings us here. Assuming you have no prior convictions, you would be in this first row, okay? Then the next calculation is based on the amount of money that was taken. So if you have taken out a $20,000 loan, the offense level is not going to increase that much, and there is likely not going to be prison time involved. Probably a felony conviction and probation and restitution, which means you have to give the money back. But they probably will have already seized your account or frozen your account and seized the funds if they're still in the account. The next level of case that I am dealing with, and these are the cases that are being charged. I've been watching the news, I've been getting the Google alerts. The cases that are being charged are the cases that are hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, okay? So these cases would have a higher offense level because the offense level is based on the amount of money or the amount of loss. So even if you didn't get the money, if you asked for it by fraudulent means, you can still be charged with fraud. That's the thing that shocks most people. Well, I didn't get the money, so I didn't commit the crime. Yeah, but by submitting the application and giving fraudulent information to induce the bank to give you the money, you actually did commit fraud. So they would calculate the amount of what they call intended loss to the bank. So whatever that amount is, if it's $150,000, the offense level would be higher, not as high as if it were, say, $1.5 million, and then your offense level is going to be higher. The court also looks at whether there were sophisticated means. So if you used a very sophisticated process of creating the documents, that's something that they could argue to increase the sentence. Also, if you used somebody else's name, if you signed somebody else's name, that could be charged as identity theft, which is an additional 2 years on top of whatever the sentence is, and that's mandatory. The judge has no choice if the government pursues that charge. So that's why it's best to get in early. Now, if the government has not frozen your bank account, if you're not under investigation, there is nothing that I can do for you at this point. However, if your account has been frozen, it is likely that they are investigating you, and that is when you give me a call. As far as whether you lied on an application, you applied for a $10,000 or a $20,000 loan, honestly, I don't know what's going to happen with those cases. I don't know if the feds are pursuing them. I think at this point they are looking at the bigger loan amounts, which makes sense because they only have so many resources, even though they are the United States government. So I hope that that answers some of your questions about PPP loan fraud sentencing. And again, if you have been charged or you are under investigation, please call me. The best time to deal with this is before you're arrested. You don't want to have the feds knocking on your door. However, if you are not under investigation and your bank account hasn't been frozen, take a deep breath and hopefully nothing will happen. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for that fabulous information. But yeah, as of 24 hours ago, ain't no more PPP loan money. I'm gonna play this video. This white boy, he mad. He like, man, something is wrong here. And this is suspicious.
But apparently the Paycheck Protection Program has run out of funding way sooner than we expected. Something seems a little bit weird here. I want to report the news and then highlight what doesn't exactly make sense and highlight how exactly this will affect you, because this will affect a lot of people, especially those who are waiting either for the round 1 or round 2 of PPP funding, which I know is a lot of people who are waiting for this funding. So again, apparently this program is out of funding. Articles are starting to now be posted online. I was just sent notice from someone who said that their loan couldn't be processed. So I started digging into this a little bit more. I'm like, wait a minute. This doesn't make sense. Like what? How could it possibly be out of funding right now? So what's happening is lenders are now receiving notice that when they go to submit a loan to the actual loan portal, like their back-end loan portal through the SBA, the loan portal is saying that new loans can't be originated. And this just doesn't make sense, because there was funding a week ago in the report, and basically everyone and their mother was saying, hey, with the amount of funding left, we're actually going to last longer than we expected. Because the original assumption was, by the very beginning of May or maybe in late April, we might run out of funding. And then it was like, mid-May, we'll probably run out of funding. And then like last week, it was like, maybe the end of May, we might not even run out of funding at all. Like we might be okay here because the average loan size is going down.
A lot of people don't know this, but the best way to make money with Amazon in 2020.
There's a bunch of fraudulent applications that are both being returned and being blocked from even applying. So this just means more money for us legitimate small business owners and all of those who have been waiting for the SBA to fix the issues. You can see I'm getting hyped up. I just punched the table. Fix the issues with their applications, because there's so many on hold right now, because either the SBA thinks that you have multiple applications, they think that you have a bankruptcy, whatever they might think that you did, and these just simply are not being released. This backlog isn't being released. And I was hopeful all along that, hey, these would get worked out and these people would receive funding and there would be time, because there's still a month left in the program, 2 months where the SBA has to process the rest of the applications, because even though the application deadline is the end of May, the SBA can process applications through the end of June. So you should be able to apply through the end of May. I'm not recommending that, because we knew that funding would run out at some point, but something just doesn't add up here, because there was funding. So where did this funding go? I mean,
where did it go?
One individual business can't swallow up all the funding. Most large businesses already got their share because they have lawyers and accountants who can just do this all for them. They don't have to wade through the BS like us regular small business owners do. But check out this report. This is from May 2nd. This is very recent. May 2nd, total loans approved, 10,700,000 loans approved, for a total net dollars approved of $780,000. And what's important to note here is round 2 had $813.5 billion in funding. So if we bust out the calculator here, so I'm doing this all live because I feel like I need to get this information out as quickly as possible. If we take out the calculator here, 813 minus 780, that's $33 billion that's left as of 2 days ago. So what happened in the last 2 days where $33 billion was spent? Well, I can tell you what happened to at least $8 billion of that. But I mean, still, minus $8 billion, that's $25 billion. That's about how much money went to the entire EIDL grant program that's still left in funding here. So I guess for the $8 billion that's left over, that can be accounted for because that is set aside for certain minority institutions. So that's still available through community financial institutions, which generally focus on lending to businesses run by women, minorities, and other underserved communities. Those lenders will be allowed to process applications until that money runs out, until the $8 billion runs out. So if you're in one of those groups, you may have a little bit more leeway with funding with what they're saying right now. But again, this just still doesn't add up. I mean, where's this money? $25 billion. Where is this money? Something doesn't make sense here. And I have a strong feeling that there will be a correction and something will be corrected and more loans will be processed. I have a feeling that there's an issue or something like that on the SBA system and they're not actually run out of funding, or they are accounting for everyone who already applied.
A lot of people don't know this.
as funded just for the allocation. Meaning, if you already applied, and let's say you applied for $20,000, the SBA is already counting that $20,000 on the $25 billion that is left. That would make more sense, that they would just simply would not accept new applications that just won't be approved due to funding. That would make more sense. That'd be the smart approach. I haven't heard of them doing that exactly. I have sent out messages to multiple institutions to try and get some information here. So I absolutely will update you as soon as I have any additional information here, because this is crazy. I did not expect this to happen. It's almost 8 p.m. here in my office, and I was like, okay, I need to get a video out on this as soon as possible. So let's talk about the future now. What happens in the future if this funding is run out? So we do have a bill that's been proposed. This bill would only change the retroactivity of the Paycheck Protection Program. So one issue with the Paycheck Protection Program, which seems like a non-issue right now, given that there's just no funding. One issue with the Paycheck Protection Program is the net income to gross income difference. Basically, those who were the soonest to apply for this program got the worst terms. They got their PPP loan based on net income instead of gross income. And this literally could be the difference for some people between getting $1,000 and getting $20,000. So it's a huge issue. So there's a bill proposed that would correct that issue. However, that bill, is, as much as it does a few good things, doesn't provide any addition to the actual funding. So my criticism of it right away was this thing's just going to cause even more of a bottleneck, because it's just going to require more funding, more processing, and lenders are going to need more money to process this. The SBA is going to need more people and money to process this. It's just going to cause problems without additional funding. So it's one issue that would be resolved, but it would also cause other issues and doesn't fix any other issues. It does other things, like would allow a little bit more flexibility with that 25% reduction in revenues, which I think is a solid change as well. However, again, no funding. As far as funding bills, there is no funding bill proposed right now. There's some discussions of it in committees. There's certain representatives who like the idea of it, but there's no actual bill that's like on the House floor, on the Senate floor, nothing. So looking at this in a positive way, I like to look at things in the positive way. If the funding is run out right now with basically a month left, I think that actually increases the odds that more funding gets allocated. The reason for that is, let's say funding ran out 5 days before the program expired. They'd probably be like, it's 5 days. Like we did it landed pretty darn spot on from when we tried to end this darn thing. But a month left with potentially hundreds of thousands of businesses who are waiting to be approved, I think the odds of getting more funding, if it actually is run out right now, I'm not like a conspiratorial type person, but the numbers just don't add up. How was $30+ billion spent in the last week when the week before that was something like $6 billion spent?
For the health coverage you need close to home, lean on Molina.
So from here, I think the odds actually increase for more spending. So that's good, but we need a bill. They can whip up a bill like this pretty darn quickly. The first round of PPP funding, when it ran out super fast, they actually got more funding approved in 4 days. Congress has actually done a very good job of helping out small business owners through the entire pandemic. Believe it or not, this is like one of the areas where there's the most bipartisan agreement, it seems, to just help small business owners. So I think that actually helps, but that's not something that will be passed today. It'd be like a week at best if we're being realistic. So what can you do individually? You still can reach out to your local representatives, and I definitely recommend you do so. Every single person helps in this case. You can email them, you can call them, or you can text RESIST to 50409. 50409, text the word RESIST, and that'll direct you to be able to send a message to your representative just by your phone. You can just text it. They put like the header on for you. They do all that for you. They make it pretty easy. It takes just a couple minutes. So I recommend doing that if you want more funding for this program, because I think every little bit will help here. If you message and say like, hey, I have a loan sitting here that hasn't been approved. I just saw that funding has run out. Like there's articles coming out about this right now. I just saw that funding has run out. Please help push legislation to get more PPP funding. There are many small businesses who are struggling and haven't received the relief that they're entitled to. So again, I hope that there's an issue here. I hope that there's a mistake or just simply some kind of glitch with the portal, or maybe everyone who's already.
Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. It's Wednesday, May 5th. Important update today on the big news that the PPP program has run out of funding. I'm going to talk about who's been approved and who's still waiting. We have new survey data from you. I'm going to report on that. Many of you are still waiting. And the question is there money available to continue to process existing applications? I'll talk about that. We've covered this news on our blog. I'm also going to talk about a couple other grant and funding opportunities towards the end of this video, so be sure to watch until the end. As always, thank you so much for subscribing and supporting us and liking this video so more people see it. Yesterday, I did an in-depth video on the EIDL progress, and we had inside information from the SBA.
A lot of people don't know this, but the best way to make money with Amazon in 2021 is not by selling physical.
NASA was charged with fraudulently submitting 3 loans. The US government supports small businesses and runs Paycheck Protection Program. This is a loan designed to provide a direct incentive for small businesses to keep their workers on the payroll. But some people were trying to trick the system, and now they are charged in fraud. Let's talk about it in this video. By the way, here on my channel we are talking about money, investing and personal finance. If you are interested in these topics, consider subscribing. My channel is pretty young, and all likes and subscription will help tremendously for the YouTube algorithm. More than a year after the pandemic brought much of the economy to a standstill, mounting fraud cases underscore how the Small Business Administration's oversight of its massive taxpayer-backed lending programs proved to be inadequate as they became magnets for fraudsters. The Justice Department has brought criminal charges against at least 209 individuals in 119 cases related to Paycheck Protection Program fraud, since banks and other lenders began processing loan applications on behalf of the Small Business Administration on April 3, 2020. And these cases are just the beginning. Created under the Coronavirus Aid, Relief and Economic Security Act, the Paycheck Protection Program has lent out $755 billion to businesses as of April 11. The Justice Department has accused numerous defendants of using Paycheck Protection Program loans for unlawful purposes, such as purchasing private planes, sport cars, and taking pricey trips to Las Vegas casinos. Recently, a 36-year-old Leesburg man pleaded guilty to submitting fraudulent application for more than $350,000 in COVID-19 economic relief loans and benefits. This person, a senior executive service employee of NASA, was charged with fraudulently submitting 3 loan applications to 2 financial institutions to secure $272,000 under the Paycheck Protection Program, and the 2 economic injury disaster loan program applications to the Small Business Administration. Federal investigation found that he also applied for COVID-related unemployment benefit from Virginia, ostensibly for his retirement mother-in-law, gaining another $15,950. Despite holding a senior executive position at NASA, the defendant applied for over $350,000 in fraudulent loans and benefits, said Raj Parekh, acting U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, in the announcement of the guilty plea in Federal District Court. As you see, this person was trying to get a PPP loan and pay off his debt despite his good job. It's super important to provide only correct information when you apply for a PPP loan. And now this guy faces a maximum penalty of 30 years in prison when he returns to court for sentencing July 16. Meant to help small businesses keep workers on the payroll, the Paycheck Protection Program offers loans of up to $10 million that can be forgiven in full if recipients meet certain employee retention requirements. During the program's first round, the Small Business Administration issued 5.2 million loans between April and August 2020. The program began issuing loans again in January 2021, and some businesses are eligible for the second loan. The Biden administration published a fact sheet on February 2nd detailing new measures to prevent fraud in the program. Unlike the previous round of the PPP, loan guarantee approval is now contingent on passing SBA fraud checks. The SBA now also conducts manual loan reviews for the largest loans in the PPP portfolio and the random sampling of other loans. In another recent PPP loan fraud case, North Carolina man is indicted for 1.5 million COVID relief fraud. According to the allegations in the federal indictment, that person fraudulently obtained more than $1.5 million in the COVID-19 relief fund by submitting fraudulent PPP loan application to a federally insured financial institution on behalf of two businesses. The indictment alleges that the two PPP loan applications contained false and misleading information and fraudulently supporting documentation about the two businesses, including fake federal tax filings and payroll reports. According to allegations in the indictment, on April 27, 2020, the person filed another fraudulent PPP loan application on behalf of the other company, which falsely represented that the company had 23 employees and had an average payroll on $260,000.
In normal aging,
topic today is going to be around PPP. But before I get into it, my name is Ephraim Egbeli, CPA. Me and my company, we help our clients manage their money so they can scale their business with confidence.
Dwayne
I just
Wade.
got off a call with the client where she told me some alarming things, and I had been hearing a lot about this stuff really bubbling and going on. I didn't really want to talk about it. Well, I probably should have, but I didn't talk about it just because you know how you think of something, but then you forget about it. Well, it came up again today, and it just made me want to make this video. But this is in regards to the PPP, right? So there's a lot of people that are doing PPP for people, and they're getting 30% of the money that they're able to get people. Now, if you know me, you know I don't knock anybody for what they charge. I feel you should charge what you feel you are worth. But if you think about it, if I'm charging 30% of a PPP loan for someone, then wouldn't it make sense for me to figure out how to get them the most amount of money back so that I can get a bigger return? Right, it makes sense, right? But then when you think about it, if I'm getting you a large amount of money for PPP, there might be a situation that comes up where you don't qualify for all the money that you're getting. So in this case, when I was talking to a client earlier, she was, well, she's not a client yet, but we had a good discovery call. She was telling me how she recently, 2 weeks ago, got a PPP loan from somebody for $131,000. And she makes a good amount of money in her business, but some of the flags that went off in my head were, number one, she didn't have payroll, right? So she didn't run payroll for any of her employees or contractors in her business. Well, employees, right? So that means that, you know, she was paying people in a situation like this, she was paying people by cash. But if you pay people by cash, a transfer, Cash App, quick pay, check, a lot of times if the payroll tax is not taken out of it, that's not considered payroll. That person is actually classified now as an independent contractor, although that might be an incorrect classification, but that's beside the point. So that was the first red flag that went off in my head, was that the way she was paying people. Secondly, another red flag that went off in my head was the fact that she had to go to the bank and get cashier's checks and pay these people that did it for her. There was no contract signed, so they literally were able to get $40,000 from her with no contract signed, no paper trail behind the whole thing. And it was alarming. It was a lot of red flags that in my mind went off that didn't really make sense. And another one, the third one, was that she's a single member LLC. So that means that she created an LLC, she owns that LLC 100%. And that means in the tax world that you have to file a Schedule C tax return. That means that that Schedule C tax return that you're filing has to be included with your personal tax return, right? But if anybody that does PPP applications remembers, there's a limit on how much money you can get whenever you are a Schedule C. So whenever you're a Schedule C, the IRS says unless legislation has changed. But when I was doing PPP last year in 2020, the legislation said that your PPP was limited to $20,800, which is $100,000 of profit. So you have to give them a Schedule C tax return that shows that your business profited $100,000. So they were able to get her $131,000 of PPP money, when she really should have at max only qualified for $20,800. Another thing that came up, and this is all crazy, right? Because these things are happening, and if you have gone through this, or you know anyone that has gone through this, where they've went to someone and that person was able to get them a substantial amount of money and they charge 30 to 40%, let me know in the comments, because I really want to figure out like what happens next, because that was a question that she had. She asked me, okay, now that I've gotten this money and I've paid them off, what happens? What should I be aware of, right? Should I return the money? Should I keep the money? And in that situation, I told her, you know what, that's something that I'm gonna have to do some more research on and really figure out, because that's a good question. I mean, you got a lot of money. Even if you did spend all that money on your business, does it make sense for you to keep it, knowing that now that you know that you got a lot of money illegally, right? Because at the end of the day, the documentation falls on you as the client, as the person, as the applicant. It doesn't really fall on that person. And why does it not fall on that person? Because most likely that person did that PPP application for you as you. They didn't put their name anywhere on it. So there's no trace or trail of them. There's no scent of them being a part of this transaction. So it's really, really messed up, because in a situation like this, she could get in trouble and that person makes off scot-free. They could change their number and have $40,000 in the bank and go do this to the next person and the next person and the next person. So those of you that don't have a legitimate business and that are getting PPP and EIDL money, beware. Those of you who do have a legitimate business and you're getting money that may not seem right, beware. Okay, the fourth thing that came up in my mind was I had asked her immediately, did they give you any paperwork? Was there any paper trail on what they did? Like, did they show you any documentation? Did they show you any application documents? She said no. So all these are alarming red flags. And on top of that, the tax return that they submitted to the bank does not match the tax return that she has submitted to the IRS. And why does it not match? Because she hasn't done her tax return yet. And that was the main reason why she reached out to me. She reached out to me because she hadn't done her 2019 return and she wanted us to help her with that. And so we've agreed to help her with that, and we're gonna make sure that her return gets filed. But even then, what if what we end up filing doesn't match what has been submitted? What if it does match and she's already hit that limit, the limit of $20,800, and she got $131,000, right? So there's so many things that are pretty alarming. And if you know any resolution to this, also leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know as well, because at the end of the day, I'm a CPA, and if you're a CPA, you understand that you're a certified public accountant, which holds a lot of weight. That means that you are to act in the best interest of the public. You are to make sure that the public gets taken care of, that they get shielded away from any of these type of scams, any of these type of fraudulent things that happen. We are ethically sworn under oath to make sure that we uphold the highest of standards. So that's another thing too. Whenever you need work done, seek out a CPA, right? Because the CPAs have a license that they have to lose if anything goes wrong. And I don't know too many CPAs that are gonna do illegal stuff to lose their license, because all the hell that we had to go through just to get this license, it ain't worth it, you know? So make sure that you start getting with professionals to get your stuff taken care of. Make sure that you do your due diligence, do your research. Google these people, right? Before you work with someone, go look them up, right? The same way that we would look someone up before we get in a relationship with that person, go Google them, go look them up, go ask people about their interactions with them. You know, make sure that, and then obviously you can tell from the person's response if that person's just hating on them or if they literally had a really bad situation. And then also, if they had a bad situation, how long ago was that too? All those things matter, right? But do your due diligence before you work with somebody, because it's not worth getting yourself in trouble with the government just so you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, every day we wake up, we see in the news the different people who have now been caught using PPP or EIDL money fraudulently. You know, they're getting this money, and they're getting it pretty easily and quickly. That's another thing she said. She got her money within 2 weeks. No, I take that back. She got approved within 2 weeks, but she told me that she still hasn't received her money. So all this work that she put in, all the money that she gave them, 40 grand, and she has not received her $131,000 yet.
Oh my goodness.
So that's another thing. Don't give money, or if you give money, give a portion of it or deposit or half, you know, if you're working with somebody, but don't give them the full thing before that EIDL or PPP money comes back. You know, because you don't know what's going to happen. That person might disappear and they might be gone or whatever, and they might
probably
disappear
already
on
gone.
you, and now they're on to the next victim. You know, so I just wanted to record this video real quickly to really talk to people about the scams that are out here. You know, beware of all these things. Beware of the people that you can tell they're just in this for money. You know, is that person you're working with, do they have notable clients that they're working with that can vouch for them? You know, all those things are important. Do your due diligence, do your research, interview them. If you have to interview them multiple times, do whatever it is that you have to do to feel comfortable with working with them and giving them your money. But this is E from CPA, and until next time, y'all have a good day.
All right, good looking out, E.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, who appeared in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. I furthermore bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is his messenger and exalted Christ, and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the Jesus in our midst today, and our last divine warner, teacher, and
Nigga, I bear witness to that overbite you got. Them is a cold set of teeth
God.
in your mouth.
It is in these names that I greet all of you in the words of Assalamu alaikum. I am your brother, Gerald X. As always, I would like to thank those who have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please send family and friends and tell them to hit the subscribe button. I want to talk briefly about the PPP loans as a warning to some of us who may be applying for the PPP loan but don't really have a business. That's not smart to do. I know they're giving away 50 grand, 20 grand, and if you're going to do a PPP loan, don't allow your homeboy, your cousin, your auntie,
That part.
who has no experience as a tax professional or a loan professional or anything like that to do a PPP loan for you. Because you have to have a business to do a PPP loan. And I've heard stories of people getting their friends to do these loans for them, and they ain't got no business at all. No EIN number at all. Just making up stuff to put on the application. It's going to come back on you sooner or later. They'll give you the money, but if they don't see it on your taxes when you file, they're going to come at you. They're going to get you. So you might get that 20 grand and pay 5 for the person to do it, and you walk away with 15,000. But then when it's time to file taxes, this business that you say you had, it ain't nowhere on your taxes. Because they made up something, lied and said you made $100,000 and you only made $20,000, and then they don't see your business. So now you're gonna get red flagged. If you're gonna get some money, you know, it would be best to kind of put it to the side and do something with it. Go ahead and start that business. Get you an EIN number and start that business so you can have something to show them if it red flags you. Don't just be getting these free loans and ain't got nothing to show for it if it come back on you. Now, I do Uber deliveries sometimes just to make extra money. You can do it as a gig worker, as an Uber driver, a Lyft driver. You know, you can apply for a PPP loan as an Uber and a Lyft driver and still get the money. But now you got something to show for it. So when you file your taxes, they're going to see, okay, well, he worked for Uber, she worked for Uber, he worked for Lyft, she worked for Lyft. As a gig contractor, you can get PPP loans. The key is you got to have something to show before you get in the money. So if you do Uber or Lyft or DoorDash, Grubhub or something like that and apply for the loan and get it, where at least you can prove that you worked for Uber, DoorDash, or let's say you started your own business and you got you an EIN number. Well, maybe you haven't made a whole lot of money doing your business yet. Maybe you just started the business a year ago, 6 months ago, and applied for a PPP loan and got some money. At least when you can show them your EIN number and show them that you got a business. But you got to have something to show for it. So if someone is telling you that they can get you $20,000, $30,000 through a PPP loan, you got to know that that's a business loan. And if you don't got no business, you don't want to take a chance and do it because you don't know what they put in on your application. They could lie and say you got this business that made $100,000 and you ain't got nothing to prove that. So it's not worth it. So at least be a Uber driver, a Lyft driver, Grubhub, something like that, and get it that way. Or have your own little business started. Just go to the IRS website and get your EIN number and start your own little business. I got a smoothie business. I did it under my smoothie business, but my smoothie business, I just got my EIN number a couple of months ago. And because I'm dealing with a professional person, they suggested that I shouldn't do it under that. But since I've been doing, you know, the Uber for like a 4 or 5 years, I did it under Uber. So I know my stuff is legit. So just make sure that your stuff is legit. You don't want to get in trouble with the government over a $20,000 loan and you ain't got no paper trail to prove that you got a legitimate business or anything to prove that you qualified for this money. And I just saw a young lady who's a banker. She was speaking on that on social media. And I'm glad she did. I'm glad she did. So just word from the wise. Don't let nobody say they can get you a PPP loan and you have no business or nothing to prove that you really qualified for this money. I just want to share that. So please share this with family and friends. If you know somebody who trying to get a loan but really ain't got nothing legitimate to qualify for it, don't let them do it. Don't let them do it. It ain't worth it. This is your brother Gerald X. Please share with family and friends. Have a beautiful and blessed day to all my Muslim brothers and sisters.
Thank you for your information, man.
Them people's already started locking up in Philly about them PPP loans. He said, Gilly, everybody telling. I said, damn. I said, all them trips to Miami gonna have you in the slammy. I told you. You hear me? I told you. You can't wear that Chanel in the cell. I was trying to tell you. You niggas thought y'all was gonna run around here and rob them peoples. That ain't the state, that's them peoples. That PPP. Go ahead, you eat the oodles and noodles in FDC, the Federal Detention Center. Ain't one believe it, huh? They said everybody's telling. I said, Lord have mercy. He said, it's 15,000 going to jail next week. I said, Lord have mercy, man. About some PPP, man. Going down, man. So, I done seen buy 44,000 rollies, man. Y'all better take them back and get your lawyer money right, man. It's going down next week. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm going to give you the heads up so you don't say I ain't never did nothing for you, man.
Shit.
It's going down, man. Next week. Right.
That was hilarious. He said everybody jealous like 15,000 niggas going to jail next week. Oh my goodness, man. Ooh-wee.
People ask me every day.
Which is causing them to deny or cancel a lot of applications. Protection program update video. This is going to be a very important video to watch. I just got an email from Womply. They are a third-party software company that pairs you up with lenders for the PPP loans, and they sent an email letting us know just how bad the Paycheck Protection Program fraud is getting. So they said that they have received an alarming increase in attempted PPP fraud, and they are sharing this information with people who have applied for the PPP loan with them to let them know that their experience is going to most likely change. So now people are going to be required to show more proof of their businesses. And from this email, I'm getting the feeling that it's going to be a little bit harder to receive these loans now. So what has been happening is that Womply has been receiving requests and subpoenas for PPP applicants for their information from law enforcement, including agencies like the FBI, the SBA, and the Department of Justice. Womply has seen a large increase in submissions of fraudulent documentation, which is causing them to deny or cancel a lot of applications right now. They are also saying that they will not notify you if you are under investigation, and they will not let you know if they are providing your data to the government. This is very
because it's the feds, man. That's how they operate.
Important because if you did apply using false information or false documents, then you are most likely being investigated, and they will not let you know until it's basically over, until you're probably going to get some sort of penalty. So what is PPP fraud? Just in case you guys are not familiar with this is just providing fake documents for a loan that was specifically made for small businesses who were affected by the pandemic. Now, just because this does say that it's a loan, this doesn't mean that everyone is entitled to it. This PPP loan is very specific and is only supposed to target small businesses that were severely affected by the pandemic. If you're not sure if you qualify for this, then you need to talk to a professional financial advisor. And if they let you know that you do apply for this, then you should go ahead and apply. But otherwise, you should be careful because a lot of people are going to start to get in trouble. So an example of committing fraud is, again, uploading any false tax documents. If you upload some false tax documents to Womply, they're going to send that to the IRS, and the IRS is going to come back to try to verify it. And if the IRS can't verify what you are saying or what you have submitted, then you can face penalties, even face jail time. So now this PPP fraud has gotten so out of hand that it has become a meme at this point. People like comedians are starting to make fun of people like this. And I want to show you this quick video because I just think it's very hilarious.
I heard about the PPP loan, and I figured, I'm like, for real, they giving out free money? Because my man, he had hit me up early in the morning before I got to go to work. He like, hey, man, you need to get on that PPP loan. So I'm like, what's up? What's the PPP loan? He tells me, yeah, they giving out free money. All you got to do is say you got a small business. So, you know me, I jumps right on it. They giving out free money. So far, I bought a new car. I bought a new house. I bought some things for my kids. Man, that money is working marvelously.
So yeah, that was just a comedy skit by this comedian on YouTube. Now, some people have been able to receive these PPP loans, and it's all fun and games until you have to create a GoFundMe account to try to pay it all back. So that's why it's just gotten way out of hand. And now there are some people who are facing some real problems, especially business owners. So I want to show you another video.
Hopkins is afraid she'll have to pay back thousands of dollars she doesn't have and is trying to figure out how this all happened.
It's just greed, it's selfish, and it's just it's sad.
Brittany Hopkins still can't believe it, but somehow she says a Paycheck Protection Program loan has been taken out in her name.
It wasn't until, the bank contacted me to verify things that I'm like, verify what? I didn't get anything.
And it's no small amount.
They got a manager on the line and they're like, you have $82,500 in your name.
Hopkins pulled this up on the PPP website. She says the loan is under her name and business address, but her personal and business details are different.
This is something that I would have to pay back had I not caught this.
Hopkins is a business owner. She owns a yard sign company and was hoping to take out a PPP loan, but she says she was denied.
I needed it, but it wasn't something that I was like, oh my God, I gotta find out why I was denied.
She wasn't expecting $82,000 either.
Originally told me, based on my information, about $5,000 to $6,000.
But now Hopkins is stuck trying to figure out who did this, and that money sitting in the bank is untouchable.
And because I have not been added to that business account, I have no access to any of that money.
She's leaning on the law to help her figure it out.
Hopkins is in the process of filing a police report.
So yeah, this is very sad, especially because it is affecting actual business owners. And I gotta give props to this lady who has a business of having a yard celebration sign business. I think that's very interesting. I've never heard about that, but I think it's awesome that some people are actually trying to make something out of themselves, starting up these businesses. But then there's people who are committing PPP fraud. And now this lady can't even take out a loan to help her out because she doesn't know who it was. It probably could have been even a family member that used her business information to try to get a PPP loan for themselves. Eventually, they're going to get caught. The FBI, they have all the time in the world. Even if it is a small loan, it doesn't matter the loan size. Eventually, everyone's going to get caught. So yeah, this PPP loan fraud is really affecting these small businesses who actually really do need this business loan. They're also saying that if you did receive a PPP loan, that information is now going to be public. So everyone that received a PPP loan can be searched on these websites.
You see that part where something sound a little suspect about her little story. She was talking about she needed the money, and I think that she got smart. I think one of her folks hit her up. I'm like, girl, we can get us a PPP loan up under your business. Just give me these details and I'm gonna handle the rest. We're gonna get 80 G's, 80 racks. And that's what happened. And she probably got suspicious, got to thinking that shit over. Then when the bank tried to call a file to verify her information, that's when she got smart. The actual light bulb went off in her head. Like, man, I'm not about to do this shit, man. This shit gonna come back on me. So she was like, hey, I don't know what y'all talking about. But she talking about, now she going about trying to file a police report on who actually did it. That's bullshit. She know who did it. Pookie did it. Ray now. She just got smart and wise in the end.
This is just an example. I just typed in Marcus and it gives me all the results, people who live in Marcus, and then it just tells you all their information, what their name is. So we got someone named James Husband, who was a self-employed individual. We can see their loan amount and the date that they received it. So that's one thing to also take into consideration before you guys apply for this. Now you might be asking yourself why this matters. If you did take out a loan and you sort of lied about how much you make or whether you have a business or not, now you're telling the government that you're making this much money, and that can affect your other government benefits, like if you're receiving unemployment or food stamps or whatever. Not only that, because you committed fraud, now you can receive penalties of having to pay all that back plus interest and also jail time. So if you did make a mistake, you can try to pay it back. I'm sure they will understand if you did make a mistake. Just try to contact the lender and try to pay back that PPP loan. If it's not too late, if you didn't spend it on, you know, a car or whatever, a house. So yeah, I just wanted to make this quick video to let you guys know that they are cracking down on PPP fraud. If you guys do appreciate these type of updates, please consider subscribing and liking this video. I will continue to cover this because I think it's very entertaining, and I hope you guys find this entertaining too. I'm sorry to the people who have been denied their PPP loans, or to the people who are stuck in lender funding or whatever status you guys are stuck in. It's because of people who are committing PPP fraud that others have to kind of suffer for it. It takes bad people to ruin the good things for the rest of us. I'm very grateful that I have been able to receive both of mine. Subscribe to this because I will be making another video about how I went about receiving both of my loans and what I did, and hopefully that can help other people. And now I'm worried that these people who have been waiting for their PPP loans are
people deserve to cheat and get away with cheating to obtain all these subsidies and amenities that our expert all things gig economy. And here on this channel, what do? We drive to fund our dreams. So I'm gonna wait for some people to get in, and yeah, you read the title correct. Black people deserve to cheat and get away with cheating to obtain all these subsidies and amenities that our great and awesome government is just giving out with cherries on top. So let's wait for some folks to come in. Hold on, y'all. Oh, what's this? Hold on, I can't see. The light bulb is kind of in the way. And we're gonna go ahead and get into
people to commit a crime.
All right, and I'm gonna explain some things to you.
A federal
I'm gonna talk about it. There's tiers to this. There's levels to this. So we're gonna talk about.
She probably work for them folks, y'all.
My teeth feels like.
I gotta hear this.
Hey, businessman, how you doing? That's right, I'm Miss CEO. I'm gonna wait for some folks to come in, and we're gonna have a talk. Hey, Miss Anita, how you doing, sis? How you doing? I was thinking about you yesterday and the day before yesterday. I gotta call you, girl. I gotta call you. We got a lot to talk about, y'all. You Gucci? I know that's right. I hope you ain't buying Gucci. We know people popping tags right about now. Yes, hey Chaz. Chaz is gonna take me out for gelato. Chaz called me and she's like, where are we going for your birthday? And I was like, oh, we're going somewhere and we're gonna get some gelato. So you know how much I love coffee and Italian stuff. So how you doing, baby girl? How you do? We're gonna have a talk. I think you all are gonna really like this one. First of all, for you all, I have a lot of new subscribers. Thank you. As you may know, you subscribe, but I do business coaching. Okay, I do business coaching and business development. So if people are interested, you want to know a business, you want to own a business, you want to do a business, you don't know what to do, I help extrapolate that out of you. I help birth that out of you. Okay, I'm really, really good at that. Like that is I have no shame in saying I'm masterful when it comes to that in business development and helping you scale as an entry person. But I also specialize in helping people in the gig economy so that they can get capital funding for their own businesses. Now, how does this tie into the PPP? I'm gonna share that with you. Thank you for the birthday wishes, y'all. Yesterday, your girl turned 40. What? Get on my level. As me and my homegirl. My homegirl, we've been friends since we were 16. She's from Decatur. She was like, oh, you on the 4th floor now, chick? And I was like, that's right. Get on my level. We're not going to talk about all the other platforms. Manage in 7 weeks. I have a book called Make 10,000, Make 10K in 7 weeks. All he knows has trickled down to me. I have a lot of my buddies are still in law enforcement. I did 15 years in, but a lot of, I walked away in my late 30s. And but my ears are still to the ground. I don't know why y'all think some of us are really just saying this to be haters or not to allow you to level up. Um, like, like, like seriously, like you know what I'm saying? I'm not out here snitching on folks or anything like that because you basically have told on yourself. You've created the ultimate tracking guideline for the feds, all right? And I come to realize because of the lackadaisical climate of law enforcement throughout the nation, because of the climate of what's going on, you all really think that they ain't got time for you. Let me tell you something. When it comes to the federal government,
All right, get it right then, sister. Man, I thought you was about to tell them why they should do it. But I guess that was like her click bait headline. But she's spitting some ism right now. So let her spit.
they have time. They have nothing
Let
but
me
time.
rewind that a little bit.
They will show actually following this. And this is the thing. I couldn't understand for me. I was like, wait a minute. You know, most people got some sense, right? You would think. But why are people so nonchalant? Because my dad is a retired police captain, graduated from the FBI and National Academy. So all he knows has trickled down to me. I have a lot of my buddies are still in law enforcement. I did 15 years in, but a lot of I walked away in my late 30s, and but my ears are still to the ground. I don't know why y'all think some of us are really just saying this to be haters or not to allow you to level up. Um, like, like, like seriously, like you know what I'm saying? I'm not out here snitching on folks or anything like that because you basically have told on yourself. You've created the ultimate tracking guideline for the feds, all right? And I come to realize because of the lackadaisical climate of law enforcement throughout the nation, because of the climate of what's going on, you all really think that they ain't got time for you. Let me tell you something. When it comes to the federal government, they have time. They have nothing but time. They will show up dying of cancer and they'll be like, ma'am, hey, yes. Sorry, to hear about that. We're going to go ahead and serve you with these, okay? Because there's a tax, Oop, hold on. Hope that cuts back in. There's a death tax, all right? They're going to get theirs regardless. So I know a lot of people are misguided. I know a lot of people, I really do feel like a lot of people did get in on this ignorantly because people told you could. But we're going to go over some of these comments. And we're going to go over a number of things. And I'm going to go over some of the people that I've been in contact with. And I'm going to be doing some collaborations with some attorneys, doing some collaborations with people in law enforcement, and doing some collaborations with people that work with financial institutions to show you and tell you from the horse's mouth what's going down and why they're going to make an example. This was the perfect recipe, the perfect chicken noodle soup for the federal government to do the resets that they want. What's funny is, and I know a lot of people don't like me saying I told you so, but whatever. I told you so. All right. I told you this a year ago, how it was going to go down verbatim, and now it's playing out. And one of the biggest things, I remember someone had wrote in the comments, let me pull these up. They wrote in the comments, don't listen to her. They don't have time. Only thing you're going to get off with is maybe a first offense, a first offenders, or get off on first offenders. Number one, that's spoken like a true jailbird. Who says that? This is not a misdemeanor crime. I need y'all to understand something. This is why social studies and understanding the various branches of government, your judiciary branch, your executive branch, legislative branch, when we're talking about a municipality as opposed to a county, okay, as opposed to federal charges, going to the federal pen as opposed to going to a state pen. What is the difference? What classifies these different things? And how a lot of you all, congratulations, have graduated to, you just skip the municipality and the state and the prison. You're not going to county. This is feds, all right? Now, I was listening to this, she is a federal. So for some of you all that know people that are in trouble, that have gotten in trouble, what you're going to have to do, this is for, you're in trouble. They've already reached out to you. The Fed's already reached out to you. They've already frozen your assets. That's another thing that's going to happen. They will seize your bank accounts. That's like the first step, right? They seize your bank accounts. They seize any money that's in your bank accounts, and it is shut down. Okay. You're going to have to get what is called a federal defense attorney. Let me say that again. A federal defense attorney. How many people in here? It's 40 and I only got 8 likes. Well, I appreciate y'all with the 8 likes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hopefully I'm not pissing all of you all off, and you can up those likes, all right? So we can go ahead and make this a really quick video. People can it can signal out for them to come on into the room. So you have to get a federal, for anyone that's in trouble or whatever, they have to reach out to a federal defense attorney, because you're dealing with federal charges. Anything that deals with the mail-in system, anything that deals with money laundering on this level, you're dealing with FTC, that kind of, well, you do have state FTC, financial transaction fraud, credit card fraud, that's called FTC. If you do have that can be state, whatever. But when you're dealing with this type of loan, because it was a federal loan, you've not violated state or city or municipality laws. You've violated federal laws, which is that's the nation. Okay, so understand the federal branch and how that's a whole different thing. First offenders. Let's talk about that for you all that understand that jargon. Okay, so First Offenders Act. First offenders, you can file first offenders, all right? Not for no federal charge, baby, okay? This guy saw got, and he was given to, who's this, Jay? Thank you. So this person was spreading false information saying, hey, you can just, he literally said, get your money, get it up. Especially black people, get your money up. You're just going to get slapped with first offenders. First of all, half of y'all ain't going to be able to really afford, because your money going to be frozen. You can't probably afford a federal defense attorney, but, whatever you get will probably be crappy. But, I'm not praying that for you, but it's just the truth. First offenders don't apply to federal charges, people. Okay. First offenders, all right, don't even mean that you ain't gonna go to jail. You can still go to jail, but they don't do first offenders. The feds is one of those people. My homegirl that said it on her channel. She said, let me tell you something about the feds, which I worked with the feds. So I know how the feds operate. The feds are like this. The feds will be watching you. You've already committed the crime, but they're the kind of people that be like, you know what, let's see if they do it again. And they be like, oh, she's doing it again. Oh, she's using another bank account. Oh, she done brought a friend in. Oh, this is great. The feds can wait. They got Uncle Sam got time, baby. Uncle Sam got time. They got the government. You want to know how they got time? Have you checked your U.S. mail lately? Have you went and got anything done federally? The IRS are they rushing to help you? They got time. That's job security. Y'all, I tell you, some of the comments are so moronic. And the reason why I titled the video this is because my white brothers and sisters, I don't mean to leave you out, because y'all getting y'all's too. Everyone gonna get some of this work. Everyone, of course, a lot of black people like to pull out, oh, with the white folk, they've been doing this. Yeah, it's called white collar crime, and they go to prison. You ain't see them hauling off people off of Wall Street over the years. This is called white collar crime. A great deal of people that go to the federal penitentiaries are white for doing these white collar. You got these hedge fund dudes. What was that dude name? Not Ben Bernanke. It was Bernie Madoffs, the Bernie Madoffs of the world. Okay, but see, the thing about them, they still sitting up there eating steak dinners and getting things delivered to them. And who's to say they actually still sitting up in there? Okay, with the money they done ran off with. Some, you know, but your little Pookie, Tyrone, Keisha, LaQuanda, can't say you're gonna get that same treatment. And if you think for a moment, because of the climate that we're in, and that, you know, I think a lot of people got it twisted that, you know, Black Lives Matter, like you're gonna get a slap on the wrist. You're not. You're not. There's something I want you all, some people was asking about this. You can Google, you all. You can Google this, all right? It's a chart, and it's called the Federal Sentencing Table, okay? Can you see that? Hold on.
Yeah, we looked at that earlier. I'm about to roll out though, people. Y'all can watch the rest of this. I'm about to link it in the room.
So it's the Federal Sentencing Table, all right? And this will give you an idea of the level of offense. Mimi? No. It'll give you an idea of the level of offense, the criminal history, the category, the criminal history points, what zone you're in, and how many years you'll get. Now, there is some good news. I heard this federal defense attorney did say that, look, if you took your little measly 5, 10, 15, 20,000, you'll be in this 0 to 6 months caliber, okay? The 0 to 6 months, you know, you may get hit with probation. And that's true. You may get hit with probation.
Stay safe.
You're going to have to
positive.
pay
Peace.
restitution. And, you'll be blacklisted for quite some time.